Hello! Pull up a chair and join us in the alcove, here with episode 71 of our homebrewed 5th edition D&D campaign, the Chaoslands. As always, before we start, a handful of quick announcements, so let's go through those. We upload recorded VODs of our game to YouTube, and if you're watching this, that's likely where you are.
Yay.
If you aren't, you can find us on youtube.com/@thealcove. That's at THEALCOVE. The alcove. If you like this video, please click the like button down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, click the subscribe button and you'll be notified when our next video goes live. We'd really appreciate it, and it helps us out a lot. If you want, you can also go and follow us on all of our social media accounts. Or don't, because social media is a hellhole.
True.
But if you want to, our Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok are all there. They exist, and they may or may not have content on them.
That is a good description.
We use a variety of background music to improve the ambiance of our game and stream, and you may recognize some of it from Critical Role's Welcome to Taldore, Welcome to Wildmount, and Candela Obscura collection albums, as well as some royalty-free music courtesy of Riot Games, including the new track, Victor, Herald of the Arcane.
Victor.
Right, that's all of the announcements.
Wait, aren't you going to tell them about our location?
No,
How else are they going to know?
I don't know.
They won't.
Alright.
It's all the announcements. So let's begin our dive into the chaos.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
After narrowly escaping an ancient and evil entity known as Kazmarat, the Iron Will found themselves tumbling out of the skies above the wreck state of Silthia, the destination of their travel, in pursuit of further knowledge and answers about the lightning rods. With some quick reactions and spellcasting, you landed safely upon the crystalline desert surface made of glass that covers the city, itself built into a deep canyon of sorts. With the hour late, you managed to scout the vicinity and find an entrance tunnel, and after an hour or so of descending the snaking path, found yourself at the East Wall Gate, a fairly empty, relatively quiet entrance into the city. Finding the entrance closed for the night, you found yourself confronted by a guard of the city, who introduced himself as Riker. Suspicious of a group of travelers arriving in the middle of the night from a direction that almost nobody ever comes from, he refused to grant you access to the city, but allowed you to camp out in a holding area of sorts near the entrance. After reporting your arrival to his superiors and describing your group, a seemingly disgruntled Riker approached you again, and, singling out Arkmir, said that he had received orders to allow your group in, upon express request of someone staying at the Gilded Oasis who requested your attendance? Presence, that's the word I'm looking for. He informed you that the elevator into the East Wall district of the city would be opening at dawn, and you'd be able to enter after your night's rest. During a quiet moment of your rest, with Calthir the only one awake, keeping watch, Riker approached again, and shared that intricate political games seemed to be afoot. He let Calthir know that the figure who had requested their entrance was none other than Lady Angelica Garnett, an enchantress with a similar appearance and strange connection to Arkmir, whom you had previously encountered in Ward 1 of Schema, with her companion, Lord Theodore Constantine. He also let Calthir know that Lady Garnett's entourage had included a female elf who bore a striking resemblance to him in particular. She was brought in chains, and apparently slavery, while frowned upon by the ruling council of the city, it's allowed when dignitaries from foreign rec states are visiting. While this conversation was happening, Astra, with her connection to the staff of the Timekeeper and the strange entity that speaks through it, growing stronger, had a conversation in her dreams with the figure, who seems to be having fragments of her memories returning to her fractured mind. During this, the woman and the staff mentioned from her memories recollections of people, of figures, and names, and a particular name held great significance for you. She asked if you recognized the name Anya.
Oh. Nope.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
As you broke camp after your rest, with all these thoughts and disparate threads weaving through your minds, you were greeted by the changing of the guard with the morning shift Lorelei, who, after speaking with you all, granted you access and allowed you to enter the east wall elevator through the gate. As this elevator descends, it's very slow and methodical descent into the city. That's where we'll pick up the next session.
48 minutes later.
This elevator that you're on is a very wide, probably 40, 50 foot wide diameter stone elevator with a large glowing glowing yellow crystal in the very middle.
Big ass elevator.
It's huge.
You can see almost like some drag marks and scratch marks along it. It seems like the elevator is sized for cargo, for freight, for wagons. But it also seems fairly dust covered. There isn't that much. There hasn't been much use of it. And it very slowly starts to descend. You gather that the speed being slower is partially in order to not spook any animals or any non-intelligent beings who are entering into the city.
Is anybody else on the elevator?
Nope.
It's just us?
It is just you.
Guys, this is the first time we've been alone in a while. So, I had a dream. You know, staff, the lady in my staff?
Yes.
Okay, well, she mentioned she may know something, maybe, about Anya.
What?
Yeah. I don't know, she mentioned...
What do you mean?
I don't know yet. I need to
Go back to
just go
sleep,
back
dream.
to bed. Yeah. I need to talk to her some more. But she mentioned
Wait.
she's starting to get her memories back.
No, you usually hear her when you have your thing on your hand.
Yeah, so we can
So you
we can
spoke
do
to
that.
her while you were sleeping this time?
Yeah, I know, that's new.
So how do you know it wasn't just a dream?
Because she also knew about like Teddy and stuff. And it's just my dreams are usually just full of smut, and this was different from what it typically is. So
But I mean, it's a dream.
no, but this
you-
was different.
You know about Teddy, so your dream knows about Teddy.
Okay, maybe, but what if we put it to the test and I talk to her through the staff, and then if she knows what I'm talking about when I'm like, hey, remember how you were in my dream and we were talking about Anya, you mentioned that name, did that happen or was that a dream? And she's gonna be like, doy, no, that happened.
Sure, talk her.
Do I get a sense how long this elevator ride is gonna be?
No idea.
36 more minutes.
It's moving pretty slowly.
Okay. Well, all right. I mean, do you want to talk to her too? Because if we both put our hand on the staff, then maybe we
Sure.
both can talk to her.
All right.
Okay. All right. Hello.
You both hear in your mind a voice that says, "Oh, hello. There's someone
Hello, staff
new."
lady.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Staff lady, Timon, staff lady. You guys have actually met before.
Have we?
Yeah,
Well, I spoke to her once.
exactly. Staff lady, can you tell my friend Timon that what I had in my dream wasn't really a dream and that you were there, we were actually talking?
We spoke.
See?
All right. Go on.
What?
You mentioned Anya.
Yeah, I did. Does that name mean something?
Wait, you know Anya?
It's the name that I remember.
Do you
I don't.
remember her last name?
No.
I don't beer?
Should we be touching the staff to hear this as well?
You guys can join in too if you like. Everybody, come on, gather.
Do you remember what she looks like?
I remember long black hair, shorter, either. That's all I remember.
Do you remember a braid?
Yes, a long black braided hair.
What was at the end of the braid?
I have no idea.
She can't remember all those details. You're asking
Do
stupid.
you know her? Does this name have significance?
My sister is named Anya, and I've been looking for her.
Maybe it's one and the same. I don't have all of my memories. I don't recall everything, but I know I mentioned this in our conversation yesterday, or last night. Was it yesterday? Was it a week ago?
Yes.
Was it tomorrow?
Yes.
We spoke, and I know I'm from here. We're close to somewhere that's very important to me.
Close to somewhere, but not there. Does a red house mean anything to you?
No.
What
No.
about a place called the Red Home?
Oh, that's what it was.
I can't remember.
In that case, yes.
Would have been a red building.
What if it's like more of a maroon?
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
So, but why did you just remember Anya now? Like,
I'm feeling some of my memories and some of my power coming back to me as you, Astra, you allow me to have more of an influence on the world at large. Every time I am able to leave the staff, more and more comes back.
Pastor's not gonna be happy.
what do you mean leave the staff?
Like
Just-
magic through the staff?
Just yes. Be able to influence things outside of where I am, and you said this is a staff.
Do you have to do magic? Like, do I have to cast things, or can I just, like, show you around?
I think I have to actually influence the world outside of the staff.
Pastor's not gonna like this.
But
Hope
there's
he's gonna
somewhere
be so
there's
mad.
somewhere near here. I don't know where, but there is somewhere. We're close to either somewhere where I'm from, where I spent a lot of time, where I can feel it. This is closer than I can see something off in the darkness, which before it was just completely dark.
Have you heard of the Gilded Oasis? Because that's where we're on our way. Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but I can't go around, like, just casting spells willy-nilly.
Is there anything that you can do that can influence
Like-
the environment around you? Like
Just to-
cast light, or like make light appear, or darkness appear? Because maybe that can show like more of the surroundings.
Really quickly, this side of the conversation, is it out loud or is it
Oh,
in
I'm
heads?
definitely speaking out
Yeah,
loud.
this is out loud.
Her too?
Yeah.
I think
would
these
think
two
so.
also... Did you guys actually touch the
touched it.
staff?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
I
I
did not.
thought it
Yeah.
going to be touching it if there's like the conversations out loud.
The conversation, what these guys are saying is out loud, is what
Yeah.
I was assuming, especially what Diamond was saying. So.
Yep. I'm like probably just like sitting on the floor of this elevator, just kind of touching it, but listening in.
I'm gonna let go of it and just say, well, it seems like she might be having some memories coming back, and if we keep pressing on her and keep pushing her, it's not gonna help any. So perhaps we just wait until Asher has potentially any more dreams, or she uses more of her magic influence to help Staff Lady remember. But I mean, that's not the first time we've heard your sister's name or the likeness of her thrown around, so it's only good news in my opinion. We just have to be patient.
I'm tired of being patient, man. Well, what else can I do?
Unfortunately, exactly.
Staff lady, what's your name?
Oh, good luck.
Maybe Staff Lady's Anya.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Oh, she remembers.
Astra, is there anything that
Destiny
you
die.
could cast with the staff?
Persuasion. I don't even
Right now.
remember.
To test it out, to see if it sparks anything.
Yeah.
I guess so.
17.
Careful of using magic in a brand new
You
city. I
you
mean,
asked this, and Astra, before you are able to cast anything, Astra's eyes go pure white,
Oh, she didn't
She's
listen
just
to me.
holding it?
We're in trouble.
and her mouth and voice in
Oh.
person speaks Tisha. And Astra comes back.
Bless you.
Did I notice that?
No.
Told you, like,
God,
good.
You actually no. What would have happened is you would have felt your vision like fade to black momentarily, like you're looking through a really far away tunnel out, and then all of a sudden come back.
This elevator is giving me some motion sickness.
Tisha? Was that there?
What? No, she doesn't remember her name.
That seems right.
You just said that.
Me?
You.
Tisha?
Something about that seems familiar. Yeah.
As in short for Pet Tisha?
Is that a real
Yeah.
I
Patricia?
don't know.
Well,
Something about that name sounds familiar.
we heard of that name before.
Does Astra remember the
do we
name?
remember
Nope.
that?
You,
Do any
you
of
all
us?
have never heard that name.
Yeah.
I think we got it wiped from
Yeah.
our brains.
Yeah.
When Astra removed her.
Asterisks. When we met Drew at that whorehouse, she dropped Tisha's name.
Was
Said
that
she
Yeah,
was
but that was
dangerous.
before.
That was before we got our brain hole wiped.
Nobody has any recollection
Like,
of
everyone
this
in our-
person existed.
Yeah.
Our mind got wiped after we visited Lady Garnett the one time.
Oh, I
This
thought
person
that
does
when
not
that
exist.
happened was just that event that got wiped.
No, she like she's
uh,
gone.
The
Like, his
existence,
existence
of
of
her
her is
memory.
gone.
Yeah, everything's
Oh,
gone.
okay.
Like
sorry.
the TVA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She,
Oh,
this person does not exist.
never heard of it.
I didn't do my staff thing in
But
the
it's
morning.
a good name.
4, 5, 6.
But just to what Arkmir may have just suggested, perhaps we refrain from using magic until we get to a spot we know is safe and secure. We don't know if this elevator is warded or anything like that, and we just arrived here. I don't want to scare guards or anything like that.
Haste!
If you do, I'll throw you off the elevator.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
We could certainly try when we get to maybe an inn or something that we know is just us.
Alright, then we'll just start casting for funsies, see if it sparks anything.
Not right now.
No, that's what I mean later.
Oh, okay.
Later. Then we'll have funsies later.
Yes.
Alright.
Again, it sucks, but patience might be a strength here.
Okay, well, until then, bye Tish.
I thought you were going to say something
Bye.
else.
Thank you,
How's it?
Lady T.
But it's good news. I know it's.
That's my hand.
I know you're tired of searching for
I
answers,
mean,
but
is it my Anya? I don't know.
that's another thing. Coincidence is
It's not that uncommon of a name where I'm from.
no, but with all the timey-wimey, loop-de-doopsy stuff that Astra brings, I would say the coincidences are a little too much to be a coincidence. I think I got that saying wrong, but you know what I'm saying.
I don't.
Soon. I feel like we're gonna have answers soon. Well, we've only moved about 5 feet, so we still got we still got an hour and a half.
It's not letting me edit the charges on my staff.
Just write down what you
Yeah,
it should be,
yeah,
and we'll
right
do it
down.
later.
Okay.
2.
6.
Oh, we're about to get into battle. We could take the whole city.
But not this elevator.
The elevator's a boss.
Very shortly after your conversation finishes, you begin to notice a small, crack forming from where this elevator is descending as it leaves the tunnel. Still floating. It continues to go further down at
Right.
about ankle level. Continues to descend. There's nothing around you. There are walls. You are exiting this tunnel as this
Oh.
elevator
We're
floats.
just like
I
a
was
platform.
so confused what you're saying, but I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This floating platform
Oh, I
continues
see,
to
I see.
descend.
Is there like walls around the elevator, or are we just free?
There were walls.
Okay.
Now there are no
And
longer
it's
walls.
like a
But
disc.
like
Wait.
the elevator itself doesn't have walls. The walls were the
It's just a floating disc.
cool.
A
And this
giant
floating
floating
disc has now left the tunnel that was forming the walls around you and is now simply
I'm gonna
floating
walk as
further
close to
down.
the edge as I feel comfortable, and I'm just gonna look down at. I'm assuming the city below us.
Yep. As the elevator leaves the tunnel, your senses are overwhelmed in every way. An underground marketplace sprawls down below you, surrounding you almost like a living organism. A chaotic cavern with dozens of twisting pathways and tunnels leading out from it. You see crowded stalls and you smell cooked meats and eggs and breakfast. You hear hawkers shouting, trying to sell their goods.
Oysters, clams, and cockles.
You see lights of all sorts floating, forming letters, forming words, advertisements of sorts in green, blue, and gold, casting shimmering reflections on the stone walls as you're descending further. Wisps of stray magic floats lazily in the air, like smoke almost, lit by what can only be described as a laser light show. There's a faint hum that's ever present, blending into the low roar coming down from conversations and bartering. The cavern is filled with at least 100, if not more, people milling about. Porters carrying messages, picking up food, picking up supplies for the morning. You see stalls with steam rising as small cafes of sorts are formed here. Restaurants of like people serving street food, people grabbing food and walking and running out. Everybody's dressed in relatively utilitarian robes. Some are dressed fairly lavishly, and they have porters who are walking along with them, almost like guards of sorts, or carrying supplies, carrying boxes through. You hear just from down the street different people shouting. You hear a vendor who's just holds up a vial of like some sort of shimmering liquid and shouts that this will heal your wound or your heart for the right price. Across the walkways, a woman with glowing tattoos on her arms and face demonstrates enchanted trinkets that hover in the air or emit soft melodic tones as she like flicks a finger on them, and they're several hundred feet away from you, but you can hear them as clear as though you were standing right beside them. Your elevator continuing to descend.
I love this place.
The crowd is a blur of robes, their colors dulled by faint grime.
Night City.
Yeah.
Many of these bear the signs of potentially a little bit of struggle and poverty, but just with the sheer amount of like opulence and magic around them, even their attire is glowing in some ways or decorated in other. You're not sure if it's by illusion or by like reality. You hear music, you hear people performing and playing all sorts of like lute just down the street, and as they perform, as your eyes turn to one of them, they're performing and these like small floating sparks are emitting as they're playing, almost forming like illusions of sorts. The air is thick with the sense of burnt out enchantments, arcane energy, and residue. All sorts of like stalls. The closest analog that you can come to, any of you that have been traveling recently, is the Red Street Bazaar in Schema. But that was mostly like a single plaza with like roaming stalls that have been set up kind of as like traveling tradesmen came. These seem established stalls, much more crowded, many more people here than you've probably ever seen milling about in a particular shop.
Like really crowded? Really crowded?
Pretty crowded.
But like how crowded?
But as you look out, you see that where this floating platform is descending, there's a area which is like almost like a raised platform of sorts. There is a wall around it and a single exit. As you descend, you notice like folks almost rushing up to where this is going to descend, where the exit from this elevator chamber or disc is going to be. You notice a few people who are clearly beggars of sorts, who are almost like preparing for you to descend.
Watch your pockets, folks.
You definitely notice some little street urchins almost like in the crowd, just like peeking through, looking up at the elevator. Welcome to the Praxis Market Hub.
Cool.
Praxis.
Did you say Praxis?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
I
talking
love
about
it.
praxis.
Is what a sign says as the elevator comes to the bottom,
nice.
and
Something
the exit as you are
Something fun.
the sort of like
Praxis
10 foot
Market.
wide or 20 foot wide entrance to this elevator. The only part that is not fenced off says above this in glowing, flashing
So
letters.
cool.
Welcome to the Praxis Market Hub. Who's at the front? Who's leading the way?
I mean, I was pretty close
Wow.
to the edge. I'm eager to check this shit out.
I'll be right behind him.
Especially, like, I'm assuming this doesn't remind me of any Magitech or stuff we make in Schema. This is, like, arcane based.
You don't
right?
see any electro steel.
Yeah.
You don't see any gears or clockwork or any of that.
So it's like...
Purely arcane.
So it's like
magic.
similar type stuff, but in a whole new way.
Yes.
And yeah, Big One's a little mind blown right now.
I pulled out a dagger and just holding one steady as we're going out there, just being familiar with pickpocketing, whatnot.
You gonna stab a little kid in the throat?
Yeah.
Pickpocket bitch.
You know, Arkmere?
You notice that the people have crowded around this sort of like front exit, but nobody's stepping in, and they're allowing you entrance into the city. And one of the beggars kind of runs up and is like, "Please, sir, please, you're holy men. Please, can you spare some coins?" And another one almost like elbows him out of the way. It's like, yes, praise be to your gods. Praise be to your gods. There's a couple of people who are already like they've pulled out these like carrying cases with like small amulets and like tablets on them, and they're like one of them is like rushing over and is like, holy symbols, amulets, charms, holy symbols.
Question: what do these folk look like? Is it a wide assortment like you might find in bigger city? Like Schema is mostly what? Dwarves, gnomes, a few other things.
There's all sorts of people. There's elves, there's half elves.
Never
You notice a few tieflings. You
Tieflings
notice
aren't
a
from
few. You don't notice any Loxodon.
Nice.
But you notice half orcs. You notice.
okay, so it's a wide
you notice
assortment.
dwarves.
Cool.
Make a perception check for me, anyone.
I'll make it no smell based.
No.
7.
Yeah, you don't. There's just so many people all around you, and everybody kind of seems in a bit of a rush. There's a few people who are like sitting at some of these cafes or restaurants and chatting. You smell just like delicious food and like sizzling
fantastic.
meats, and you notice somebody's got like skewers of right near the stall, or like near where the elevator came out is a food stall, and they've got like skewers of, they've got this enchanted almost like grill which is like searing hot, but you don't see how it could be hot because it's floating in midair. And there's just meats that are like cooking from in it. It smells delicious.
Ooh, what do they have there?
Do you walk over?
I walk over. By the way, before we arrived to the bottom of the elevator, I changed my cloak to just blue, like the same shade of blue as my original shop.
I do have a question for the people who are around us. If I pull out like 10 copper, let's say, does that get their attention? Do I see that that's something that they're interested in?
I'm just gonna, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the beggars in particular, the like vendors maybe not as much, but
Yeah.
the vendors don't seem to pay too much, like get too excited about it, but the beggars are immediately like,
Okay, so
"Yes,
they're not
please, sir."
professional peddlers. They're actual peddlers that need the money.
And
Maybe
the other
have you
part
seen-
was,
Some of them in Toronto, man.
I think I missed it last time. If you would like ask someone for a map.
I think that was last time we were gonna look for a map, but that got right. So we'll find a map
I
maybe in
guess
this
the
market.
question is like, can anyone here provide me with a map?
Do you ask loudly or relatively quietly to one of the people in front of you?
You just get off the elevator.
I lost loudly.
I need a map.
Yes.
You'll probably get like 10 merchants coming
I
after
need
you.
a map
You
of
notice,
this city.
Yeah.
you notice a couple of people almost like turn and begin like moving towards you, and then you notice you hear just this loud whistle. Yeah, like that. I can't do that, but something like that. And those guys, the 2 or 3 folks who are trying to like run towards you, like turn around and shake their heads and walk away. And this one man kind of walks up and approaches you, and he is dressed in like this long, lavish, like multicolored trench coat of sorts. He's got like a yellow panel and a purple panel and a blue panel, all of them like stitched together into this long flowing trench coat. He's shirtless. He's got a belt with like a glowing, almost like orb in the middle that seems to be changing colors and shimmering. He's got like long. He looks close to a human dark-skinned version of Arkmir in many ways. With like curly hair, not dark eyes, just like dark skin. Just like he approaches. I can certainly help you all. My name is Ren. Pleasure to meet you all. Pleasure to meet you all. Yes, Ren. R-E-N. Ren. Let Ren help you. What do you need? You are certainly of the holy sort. Having come in at this entrance at the auspicious hour of the morning. Looking at you, my friend, are you perhaps looking to visit the temple, the shrine of the Shade Sister?
I'm paying no attention to him.
He's talking to you.
I'm not like near you guys.
Let's start with the map, Ren.
But that is a very interesting question. I may help you reach and go wherever you would like. But maps are not quite a simple thing here. Is there somewhere in particular that you are all hoping to visit, hoping to attend, hoping to grace with your holy divine presence?
I'm gonna get my divine ass over to that food stall.
I think I
Silthia,
might,
come
I might take along with you.
Try the mana spice bread if you do. And then he turns around and
Are you
I'm like-
shouting to me? Because I'm not like right beside you guys.
I thought I was kind of close to you, so I was like,
Well, you guys were. It depends. So when we were going down the elevator, you guys were all like touching the staff or like staying there, and I was like off from you guys, just kind of like in my own thoughts. And when we got down, I just kind of slowly walking, ignoring everybody that's been around. I'm not like leaving you guys, but I'm not paying attention to like I'm completely ignoring the
I'm
beggars.
like,
and everything.
Silthia, come. What?
I'm not super far away, but I'm not like right beside you.
Just floating above the crowd.
Guys, a dark town.
Calder, a few
Hail
of the-
Jesus arrived.
Calder, a few of the people would have looked at you and tried to come up to you, and then seeing your like demeanor at the moment, would have simply stepped back, and maybe gone over to the rest of your companions to maybe potentially. That's not music I was talking about.
Appropriate though.
Yeah, they seem to be giving you a little bit of a berth, but Ren approaches the rest of you. Yes, well, where can I help you get to? Where can Ren help you?
Like
Where do you get your
I'm going with him
coffee?
to get food.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I'm following you
You
to
said
get
where you
food.
get coffee?
Yeah, he's got so much energy.
Oh, that would be that way. And he points in the opposite direction from where the food stall right by this sort of like thoroughfare is.
Okay, bye, Arkmir, and then I'm gonna run off. I'm actually gonna be going off to
Yeah.
look for clothing.
Okay. As you approach this other stall, there's a man who's simply like he's skewering this like strange sort of like it's basically like tofu. He's like skewering tofu onto a skewer. And it's like you can see he's put like a few of these skewers into this like large grill as they cook, and he's like skewering one.
Oh, what is that? Halloumi?
This?
Aye.
No, it's spice sponge.
Spice punch.
Yeah, spice sponge.
What's it made of?
Spice.
Your spice?
It's almost like a. Have you ever had bean?
Aye.
It's made out of crushed and emulsified beans.
All right.
Can I get you something? I've got all sorts of meats. I've got a fresh batch of scorpions. Small. There's this really. You notice in the middle of the grill, there's like a large like hunk of meat that's just like slow cooking almost. And as you sit and stand there and like your eyes get looked at it, it almost like flips over on its own. Without without anything happening. I can slice something off of that.
I want a slice of that. I want a scorpion skewer, and I want a piece of your spice cake. How much is that?
The spice bread.
Bread.
Yes.
Right.
2 silver.
Sponge?
Have you got some mail to wash it down?
No. They run a very tight ship on the liquor licenses.
Where can I get some mail?
At this time of the day, probably nowhere. Except for maybe indoors at some of the
I
indoor
don't
bars.
like the city already. Like, what the fuck is wrong
This
with
is
this
strange.
people?
How tall am I compared to the rest of the crowd? Like, can I see over
You're
tons
taller
of
than
stuff?
most of the people.
Do I notice, if I see Asher running off,
Mm-hmm.
do I notice any shops that might have weaponry? Or things that might take all of this crazy ass armor that I'm not wearing and sell it?
Make a perception check for me.
This went so well last
I am gonna buy a cup of coffee that guy recommended on my way to clothing.
Nat 20, baby. 24. Nat 20.
Nice. You do notice there's a small shop that just says Stone Whale's Smithy on it. Stone Whale is an STONEVIL.
If you find any chickens or apples, I will take a few. I'm just gonna go sell a few things that I've been carrying for far too long, if that's okay.
What are you going?
Oh, there's just a something smithy shop over there.
Oh, can I come?
Sure. I was just curious if you wanted to grab food, and then maybe we can meet up.
Oh, I'm alright. I can eat as I go.
Oh, perfect. Let's go. I will keep my eye
give him
and
the-
nose open for apples.
I give him the 2 silver and have you got chicken?
Yeah, I do. I've got some chicken.
Oh, we'll take 2 to go.
I've got. I don't think I have full chickens. There's some of these skewers. I can give
How
you
many
2 skewers.
do you have?
I've got like 5 ready. If you wait another 5 minutes, maybe another 4 will be ready.
5 will do. Do we want to pick up a couple others for other folks? I'm not sure that. Do you eat meat? Have we seen you eat meat?
Yeah.
We'll grab a couple things for people.
Alright.
Can you gift bag them? Well, like wrap them.
Sure.
The bow and
Yeah.
everything.
And he whips out.
I will
like,
take 3 chicken skewers
twine
now.
and starts. Okay, so he wraps up 2 of them
Yeah.
and gives you
Yeah.
3.
Well, we'll take a few of the other things as well. Like, I'll do like 5 silver worth of food.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's all sorts of stuff there.
we'll
We get a mix of different skewers.
Yeah,
and-
we'll do 5 silver worth of stuff, and we'll make sure you guys.
Bundle
are-
it.
It's all fresh. It all smells delicious. It's
I will send.
got a little bit of,
message
like, a
to you and
spice
just say
kick
we
to
have
it.
lunch or dinner, or I don't really know the
have
time,
everything.
but we have food.
it's morning.
We have food.
You also do notice there's a lot of like on a separate, almost like pan of this grill. He's just got eggs, like just cooking there constantly, just like
Eggs are overrated. Chicken came first.
Astra.
Yeah.
You walk past the shop that has almost like 5 or 6 different brews of like drinks, coffee, tea, different sort of scents and like rising and steaming. And as you walk past each one, it almost feels like you're immediately hit with the flavor and scent of that one without anything from the one immediately right beside it. It's very strange. You would expect that you would be smelling multiple different things or everything around the entire market, but no, you just smell the one pot right in front of you.
I'm gonna run back and forth and keep smelling them individually.
You smell them. There's a few. There's 2 or 3 liquids that are clear. There's one that's like almost like a lightish pink liquid, and then there's 2 that are like dark black. One is dark black, and one is like a little bit of a muddy brown. All of them smell delicious.
Which one do you recommend? What does our friend Ren over here drink? He has energy for days.
Ren. Yeah, he drinks the NAS. NASS. NAS.
Oh,
It's a particular blend. It's not the. She points to the one right beside the pink one, so it's almost like a clear liquid. It's this one. I don't recommend drinking it past the morning. And this is like a older woman who's got like her hair tied up in like a bun, who's like standing there and is like looking at you. Are you all from out of town? Are you visiting?
I'm by myself.
Are you from out of town? I saw the. Did you come in from the elevator?
Oh yes, I'm from North.
Oh, North.
Yep.
Interesting. Yes. I can. Would you like some?
Please.
Okay. And she begins to pour out from one of these pots. Pours you out a cup, hands it to you, and it is like an actual like stone mug, like a ceramic mug.
Am I able to take this to go?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Okay. Can you point me in a direction for clothing? Feeling like maybe a dress or something.
Yes. There's a shop just down that way. Lovely girl, Layla. She has all sorts of fabrics and supplies, and can whip up anything that you'd like at a fair price. My daughter's wedding dress she sewed it, and she was lovely with it.
Oh. Well, that's lovely. How? I guess I gotta pay you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping you would. Okay, well, how much for the nuts?
1 silver or 2 if you want to keep the mug.
Oh, souvenir cup.
It's lovely. I'll return the mug though. All right. Okay. Well, thank you, Miss Noss.
She takes the 1 silver and just leave the mug anywhere. It'll find its way back to me.
What?
Whoa. Cool.
I love this place.
Oh yes.
All right, I'm off to see Layla.
Calter, what are you doing as your friends all
What is
Calter
doing?
separate directions?
He's moping.
Yeah.
I go
Brooding.
meet my connections here.
Something's on his mind.
So, in where we are in this market, is it like, how far down like any path can I see, or like, are we up high and we can see down low, or?
You're in almost like a large cavern chamber. You can see several tunnels almost like leading out and about. But almost everything seems to be crowded within this market. There's walkways in here, like between tents, and like it's almost like a winding, almost like a bazaar type scenario. But you can see exits. You see like maybe 5 or 6 exits. With your passive perception, you also notice that while the rest of your companions have kind of spread out, Ren has kind of stayed relatively close to you.
Okay.
And it's kind of like eyeing you.
Sure. Couple of things. One, do I see a dolphin fountain anywhere?
You do not.
Do I see signage anywhere that would indicate me which direction I would need to go?
You do not.
Do I see any stall that very clearly sells like a directional map? I'm not talking to anyone, I'm just looking.
Make a perception check.
God, there's that dolphin. Dirty 20.
The only thing that seems similar that you see is off in the distance in one of the, like, near one of the walls of the cavern. You simply see a plain, not lit sign that just says Waystones.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Alright.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna clock that. And yeah, just kind of continue slowly walking around and taking everything in, but paying no attention to anybody trying to get my attention. And slowly kind of making my way in that direction, but not actually leaving. Like, I'm not going to walk away from the group very far.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is all within, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these stalls are maybe like...
It's a market.
Yeah. They're pretty crowded, but they do seem very permanent. Like, it doesn't seem like these are stalls that are taken down or set up consistently.
So many people can probably see me from a distance anyway.
I'm
Ren is kind of loosely following.
Yeah, I'll be paying attention to him, and just try to keep an eye on where he's at, knowing that it seems like he's paying attention to me.
Arkman, what are you doing?
So I'm still with Ren at the moment, and he was asking me what I'm interested in. A few things, sir. I honestly am interested in information. And
Why, by all means.
in this city, I mean, we may be here for a while, and may like to have someone readily available. Is that something that could happen?
Yes, of course. That's what I'm here for. I am here to make sure that your time in this city is spent with as few problems as you can possibly imagine.
Quick thing. He's talking to Ren?
Yeah.
While he's talking to Ren, I'm going to try to just walk around a corner.
Okay.
I'm not like running down a street alley or something. I'm literally just walking kind of around a corner as if I'm just looking what's around there. And I'm just going to hang out there.
Yep. Ren does not notice.
Okay. Anyways.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Way to go, Derek.
Information.
Can you just make a stealth check for me? Just really quick.
Oh, God.
You got this.
It's purely just to see if Arkmir notices. So it would be like Arkmir's passive perception is what you're trying to be.
10.
Oh, this one says.
No.
Ark-
12.
Arkmir does notice that you kind of like go around the corner.
Ren, did you see that?
Just instant.
I just went around the corner and then I could see, I clocked Arkman. I'm like,
Well, I mean, on that note, Ren, I guess,
Yeah.
what would be the best way of staying in touch with you?
Oh, I can come with you wherever it is you're going.
Probably not ideal, to be honest. No. If you have a way of keeping in touch, we can, and I can make it potentially worth your while. But if not,
The city isn't exactly very easy to navigate. I can help you get to where it is you're going. With the help of, and he points towards the, like, a stall in the corner that has waystones on it. But I do recommend you have some sort of a guide with you, at least until you find your rooms and chambers, at least until you get out of the wall. The walls are where it's worst. Once you're in the canyon, if you would like, I can maybe find somewhere to hang out and we can stay in touch, but the canyon is very safe.
so why are you so keen on helping me?
Well, I have nothing better to do.
Do I believe I'm 120 feet away?
Do I believe him?
Make an insight check.
Nick wants way off in the distance, just like,
Sending a message to me.
Yeah, don't believe this guy.
Natural 19. Wait. Insight. 23.
Let's go.
I mean, he obviously expects something in return.
Yes. Yeah.
But he doesn't seem malicious. He doesn't seem like he's like trying to mislead you or trick you or anything. He is expecting to get paid for his services at some point in time.
Just
Basically, he's trying to make money.
Yeah. Well, I'll say.
Maybe as you saw, like one of your companions, or as you took out the like 10 copper,
Yeah.
you might have noticed like a little bit of a glint in his eye, and as you like put it away, you...
Well, I'm gonna give him the 10 copper as a.
Why, thank you.
Thank you for your
You certainly do not have to.
quick assistance. I'll be on my way, but should we need your help, I'll reach out.
I am going to say, again, don't leave this market without a waystone.
Yep.
And if you do need help operating the waystones, I will be here, and I will be at your service. If you need anything, I can help you in all sorts of ways. I can help secure you transportation, and help secure your rooms in the canyon. I can help secure your rooms in the walls if that's where you'd like to stay. I even have some friends who have recently moved from the east wall to the west wall, and there may be a house open if you'd like to stay for a little bit of a longer term. Anything you need, anything at all, just think of Ren. As you turn around and walk away.
I do want to say, I guess for where I'm heading, I keep making mental note of like where the waystones are, but I am actively looking for the busiest stall.
Okay. I think the busiest stall probably. You notice a stall that has a ton of like scrolls on the wall, just hanging from the wall. And you notice a lot of people simply going there and like arguing. It's less that it's busy because of how many people there are. There's just a lot of conversation happening. In fact, there's like 2 or 3 people behind the stall who are all in the middle of like negotiations and haggling. There's a lot of haggling happening at this that's causing like a large backlog to build.
Okay.
That's easily the stall that you see that is the busiest.
I'm using this as an opportunity to look for whoever or who looks the most engaged in conversation.
Make an insight check.
23 again.
There's you notice like this a young-ish, almost like short hair woman with long pointed ears, who's animatedly in a discussion arguing about how they'd agreed on a specific price for a scroll, and this is not okay that the shopkeeper is simply changing the deal or the offer at the last minute, and the shopkeeper is like that the price has changed, this is my last available stock. You notice a very heated almost like discussion and argument happening where this woman will clearly not notice anything that you do.
Is her hair like a short bob?
Who said I was gonna do something?
She's wearing a name tag that says Karen.
Yeah.
But yes, I am gonna go by and see what I can swipe or gather.
Okay. Make a stealth check first to see if you get noticed.
30.
You certainly do not get noticed as you slink up
You
behind this
disappear
woman.
from this entire
Then make a sleight of hand
Everyone
check.
forgets your existence.
You notice that she has like a satchel, like almost a messenger bag, that's like hanging off of her side. And in her hurry to try and like argue with this person, it is open. So you're very easily able to like try to slip your hand in and grab something.
It was on a net 20. It just it's a dirty 20. No, I can augment.
You slip your hand in. Doesn't seem like anybody around you notices, and you fish out a couple of nicely wrapped in ribbon scrolls. A small, almost like this large, like silver dollar sized stone. The stone has like a little arrow on it that's pointed in a particular direction.
Yeah.
And a small handful of coins. You gather they are
762 platinum.
natural 20. That actually would be about 6 platinum and 40 gold.
Oh, damn. She's haggling.
As you do this, you notice that
You have a lot of money.
they're
He steals all of our money.
Yeah.
What
That's the
they're
reason why
argu-
we don't have money.
what they're arguing about is the matter of about 100 platinum. Like she wants to get 100 platinum off of the price of this scroll that she's looking to purchase.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
damn. Okay.
There's you gather from this conversation as you slip some of this money out.
Gotcha.
You notice also, as you are doing this, that she is holding a pouch in her hand that she is like shaking as she like argues. You can hear there like the majority of her coin are in this pouch that she's holding onto, but some might have slipped out, and those are some of the ones that you were able to.
Gotcha.
That's the secret stash.
Yeah.
But if you want to, you can potentially try and take that what's in her hand.
Nope. I'm good. Make my just walk away, and from there I'll probably just be strolling some of the other stalls just to see, like, equipment wise, what kind of interesting things there are.
There is all sorts of things. Any sort of like there's in terms of like minor trinkets and baubles, there are a ton. There's many things that you can't imagine, and things that you could only imagine as being this can't be real. There are like orbs that float by themselves, and like as you spin them around, they start shouting in like loud, like different languages of like curse words. There's like an entire stall of just like toys, and like there's a small like stuffed monkey toy that just like leaps up and grabs onto something as it like leaps up and then just clings from it. and then after a while lets go and does like a backflip before landing on its feet. All sorts of just like strange things and contraptions here. The music that's playing in here, you immediately get drawn to. There's a performer who's just standing on top of a box. He's just tapping the box, and the box is making like trumpet noises as he plays like a violin on top of it. He's like basically a one-man band with like a magic box. It's some of the most surreal things that you could possibly imagine. And it's so lively. It's simply vibrant and exciting. Even though there are obviously some people who are a little bit desperate, a little bit down on their luck, the general vibe here is very, very positive. And it's almost strange to see a few of the less savory folks just like milling about occasionally.
We're in downtown Rio.
Kelpier, as you ducked around this corner, what would you like to do?
Have I seen Ren since?
No, you have not.
Okay. I'm just gonna be hanging out for a few minutes. Do I see everybody else like still just kind of like going to things? Is that
You see them having spread out and are going to a few different shops. You see the big one and Timon. They've grabbed like some meats and skewers and are now about to approach this like blacksmith shop that you can point. You see that you saw a big one like point to it. Astra's grabbed like a drink and is moving over to this like fabric shop that's pretty close to where the blacksmith shop is. You see Arkmare almost like going over to this stall with like all sorts of scrolls and spell components and things hanging from it. They're milling about, but you have a pretty good visual on most of them.
Okay. Then I will start going towards where that waystone thing is.
Okay.
It looks like everybody else is doing things, so I'm just gonna go.
You make your way over there, and you notice that this stall is very empty. There's maybe 2 or 3 people who are just milling, like having a conversation with the folks behind it, and it's also very well manned. There's probably like 5 or 6 people behind the counter. 2 or like a few of them are simply just waiting there. And one of them looks at you. Hey, old traveler. You came in on the elevator?
Do I need one of these waystones to get around?
I would recommend it. You probably need several if there's anywhere in particular that you're looking to go to. Where's it you're headed?
Whereabouts is the Gilded Oasis?
Oh, that's down in the canyon. There's a couple of ways that you can get there. Let me take a look. And this woman just like begins opening like a few drawers underneath. So I got this one. If you want to keep following the tunnel down, there's a restaurant pretty deep down below, and from there it's like a short walk out into the canyon. There's this one which is almost like there's a few houses on a terrace, so it's like some fancy pants noble who wanted to build a house on a terrace overlooking the canyon. That's pretty close to an elevator, and she like pulls out like another one of these stones. So these are like large silver dollar sized stones. Each of them has like an arrow on it. Most of them are like different colors, and they've all got like a number inscribed on them. I think there's a few others. Are you open to crossing the canyon and then coming down from that side? Because I'm pretty sure the Gilded Oasis is closer to the west wall. There's one that'll get you to the bridge. Let's see. This would be bridge 4. Wait, no, I can't do that. No, not bridge 4. Fuck that.
What?
This would be bridge 7. Bridge 7.
What just happened in the DM's head?
I accidentally did a reference to the Stormlight Archive because it's in the back of my head right now. That's why.
I'm not familiar with this city at all.
Something's
Whatever
like
is the fastest route.
I think the fastest route will probably be the terrace. It's the closest from here. From there, you can probably get on one of the gondolas that heads down, and then once you're in the canyon, shouldn't be too much of a walk. She like fishes out, or she puts the other two away and like grabs one of the stones and like puts it into like a small basket.
Are you familiar with a place called the Dark Regret?
It's not in this wall. And let me take a look. And she like pulls out this like massive ledger, and is just like starts flipping pages on it. I do see something here. It's in the other wall. The waystones that we have are mostly for this wall, so you can get to the other wall and then go to the waystone vendor in the Omexus Market Hub, and they can point you in the right direction. Do that.
Perhaps another point. Can I get to the other wall from the canyon? And
Yes. Once you're in the canyon, there are several elevators and tunnels and entrances into there. And in the from the canyon, I can give you a waystone to the Omexus Market Hub, and they can give you a waystone to back here.
Sorry, how much are these stones?
Oh, they're free. They're a service for the city. Otherwise, people would get lost in these tunnels.
I see. Well, whatever stones you can give me would be great. Is there a way to use them?
You hold it. She holds it out in her hand, like the one that she wants to go to, and it like slowly like spins a little and points in like a specific direction. It's roughly that away. If I follow the tunnels, eventually I'll get there. I might end up looping around a few times. Just keep following this, even if you see the same thing over and over again. You'll eventually get there.
You said the one to take to go to the gondola, and then
Yes.
take that.
Yes. And she like fishes out one of them and hands it to you. Here you go.
Do you know approximately how long that travel would take?
I don't. If your path remains true, probably not that long. I think you might be able to get there in a few hours, but you never know. The tunnels here, some because of strange magic, some because of the nature of our fair city, they tend to wind in upon themselves, and it's very, very easy to get lost. I don't recommend. In fact, here, and she hands you another waystone, and this one very clearly on it is written Praxis Market Hub. In case you get lost, this will help you get back here.
What number is that?
Okay, so she gave me one to Omexus. Is that what you said it was?
So she gave you one for the Praxis Market Hub.
Yeah, here.
She gave you one for the Cassadin Gondola.
Yep.
And do you want one for the Omexus Market Hub as well? Okay, yeah. So she gives you one for the Omexus Market Hub as well.
Okay.
We don't have any waystones for places in the canyon because those are pretty easy to find. They don't move. It's once you're there, you can see where you're going. It's the tunnels that tend to be a little bit harder to track down. Also, sometimes you will see smaller tunnels offshooting off of the main tunnel that are either smaller or larger. Honestly, if the waystone points you in that way, just go that way, even if it doesn't seem like that is an actual path. Sometimes the waystone might point you directly into a wall, and that might not be a real wall.
What?
Just follow the waystones as much as you can, and you'll eventually end up where you're going.
Do I because this is all new. Do I get the impression that like she is speaking with complete honesty, or this is like oops, you walked into a trap? No, she's speaking very clearly. She's wearing like a uniform, and like everybody here is actually wearing a uniform. Okay. It seems like this is actually a city organization, or something,
as opposed to like a city service,
employee.
as opposed to somebody selling
City
things.
employee.
Yeah. Okay.
TTC.
Okay. Thank you. I will.
Welcome. And I hope you enjoy your time here. Our city is quite strange, but it's home.
I walk away.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
You are not in this conversation, but you now realize that the lady that you stole from is not finding her way home.
Yeah.
She's staying here for the night.
She can get a stone at the
Yeah.
stone place.
If her address is on the ledger.
I know where she
Timon.
Before we-
Timon and the big one.
Before we go off from the skewers guy, what's your name, friend?
Oh, Jamal.
Jamal? Are you from this place?
Born and raised.
Alright. Do you get many visitors from out of town?
Not really.
No?
Once in a while, there's a few holy folk that might come by on pilgrimages, but other than that, not many people come into this market hub unless they're visiting from within the city. Not many people come down the elevator.
No.
Well, except for old Sourface, Riddick, and Lorelei. They swing by.
What about... Have you heard anybody from Cornwall around here?
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people around here.
Who are you thinking? You're smart.
I think. Did you call him Riddick?
No.
Yeah.
Riker. Old Sourface Riker.
Riker, yeah.
That's just what's in my head, unfortunately.
They will be
That's his last name.
Riker Riddick?
I'm gonna be honest, I meet so many people that don't really remember. Are you from Cornwall?
No, I'm just curious. That's alright.
Yeah, people from all sorts tend to find their way through. Not that many, because we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Usually it's just the people that live here and the people who are kind of around. Maybe sometimes there'll be like caravans of students coming in to try and enroll at the university. That's about it, really. Most of those people tend to stay in the canyon, to be honest. In the tunnels and in the walls, it's less new people, less new faces.
Alright, so I guess you serve mostly locals then.
Yeah,
I like authentic places.
it's a good living.
Have you been at this for long?
About 20 years.
Ooh. You must be very good at what you do.
Yeah, I would think so. Try the spiced bread. It's my local specialty. They sell. There's this shopkeeper down the street. His name's Torn. He sells a bunch of herbs and spices, and one of the spices that he sells is infused with this strange magic that makes it almost like shimmer and flow. Like if I drop it, then he's like actually takes out like a small pouch and like picks it up and like picks out like a thick pinch of it, and then he like pulls out like a bowl and he like drops it over it, and it like almost like very slowly floats down, and it's like almost like a feather falling into it.
Ooh.
Back and forth. And as it like mixes in, there's like almost like blue sparks that are flying off from it, almost like fizzing like pop rockets of sorts that are just popping in the batter.
Oh, that's very nice.
And do you take a bite of the batter?
Yes.
It tastes very
Nice.
similar to that. Like it's almost like in your mouth there's like these small explosions happening, and like you almost start to see in front of you these like stars and fireworks just like going off in time with your bites as you take them.
Whoa. What does Jamal look like?
He's like a dark-skinned man, bald, bright blue eyes. He's got like a little bit of a mustache. He's dressed in relatively plain clothes with like his sleeves rolled up. He's got like a wicked tattoo on his arm that's just like winding waves almost.
Oh.
It's like going up both of his arms.
Well met.
Hey, what was your name, by the way?
I'm Timon.
Nice to meet you, Tony. If you like the food, come by again.
Oh, I will. I follow. I go after the big one.
Big one, you approach this smithy, and you immediately are just like, as soon as you get closer to this, it's just sound. It's just hammering and sounds, and there's a lot more hammering noises coming than there are people here. There's one person who's simply just like manning this, but you see
Tools
as you
on their
look,
own?
there's just like tools just hammering on their own. There's like steam rising from a like bucket of water
Yeah.
as like a hot hammer almost like is like dipped into it. He turns around and looks at you. Yeah, you're a big one.
That's my name.
You see in front of you a dwarf. However, this dwarf has completely pale white skin,
Yep.
gray as ash, and like
Sick.
black tattoos on his face, dark red maroon eyes. He's just like looks up at you. How can I help you?
You're my favorite dwarf in World of Warcraft, by the way. Sorry to interrupt. We actually are just visiting this city, and I've been carrying a bunch of items that I was wondering if you'd be interested in purchasing to take them off my persons, or anything to trade for, or
I can buy some of your stuff off of you. Is there anything in particular?
oh yes, just some loose items that I've no need for anymore. So I have my old armor, I have a warhammer, I have a sword, and a dagger that I'm.
Are those all just like non-enchanted?
I hadn't thought of the armor. It's the chainmail that we created. I don't think it, yeah, I think it's just basic chainmail.
Basic chainmail from Cornwall. Cornwall steel, the finest.
I can give you a little bit of coin for this. Probably have to break it apart and smelt it into something else, but
Do what you need with it.
yeah, I think I can do about 200 gold. It's at this point that after the conversation you approach and you see
Am
the
I
big one
taken
talking
aback?
very much to a Duragar,
Am I
and you
taken
recognize
aback?
it immediately.
I don't know if Cornwall would have a
Cornwall has
hostile
Yeah.
attitude
I think-
towards Durgar.
I think in Cornwall there aren't any Duragar, and we always hear stories of
Roll for racism.
Yeah.
there aren't any Duragar in Cornwall at all. You never see them.
Okay.
And so I think there is probably some folktales that are very much like, stay away from them. Like nothing overtly hostile, but just like they're strange. Don't keep your kids away from them. That type of thing.
How'd your kids?
Yeah.
Casual racism, not hardcore racism.
Okay.
So staring deeply into his eyes, I'm gonna message Arkmir, assuming he might not be, but if you're within 120 feet, I'm selling stuff and I don't know if this is a good price. Help. Is he within 120 feet?
Probably. Pretty much this entire market is
Okay.
like maybe.
And I'm just
200,
staring at him
300
and
feet.
sweat starts dripping down my head.
Did Diamond hear it?
I'll make my way over.
Yeah,
Okay.
you would have heard the tail end of this conversation.
So Diamond, being a blacksmith,
Yeah.
is 200 gold a good?
I'm not looking.
It's actually a really good price.
Okay, I'm not looking for like crazy. Big one just doesn't know.
So
Yeah.
I get to
You
use
gather that if these were magical goods,
Yeah,
they would be
be
worth a
worth
lot
more.
more. But for like a standard
It's
suit of
three
like
basic bitch weapons and.
this is actually
I just
a
don't want to
really
carry it
good-
anymore.
It's-
Okay.
Lord. Accept the deal.
That's a great deal. I'll take it. I have one more item. I'm not sure I want to part with it, but I'm curious if you have any expertise on this. And I'm gonna pull the clairvoyance thing out, the little spyglass. What do you make of this? You're not here.
mighty fine craftsmanship.
You can see things. Well, not like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's not really my
I'll take
cup
it.
of tea.
That's fine.
I'm mostly focused on weapons, tools, armor, shields, that sort of stuff. But I can point you to there's a shop further away from the tunnel. It's a little bit of a shady establishment. But he deals with all sorts of like strange things, and he might
perfect.
be more interested in something like that.
What's his name?
Something
Or the
more
location?
esoteric. Eleander is his name.
How do you spell that?
Eliander.
D-E-R?
Der.
Oh, perfect. Yes, I'll take that price. That seems like a great deal. I'm just curious, do you have any items for sale yourself? It'd be rude of me not to browse your wares here.
I do. Recent batch of enchanted goods just came in from the Arcanist in the Canyon.
Oh.
Any of these things that you want? They're a little bit better than what you can get in most shops.
do you
Rare
have?
supplies. Swords, hammers, shields, weapons, armor. Basically any blanket, any armor or weapon that is a +1.
Oh, I've actually been looking for a new shield.
That isn't +1.
I think I used to use shields, but I don't really remember. It's a long story. Do you have any shields that...
I do.
I'm not looking for anything too big or anything, just a little protection here and there.
I do have one right here.
Oh,
Let me just
Yeah.
go
sorry,
grab it.
I just ate
He
it.
pulls
My
out.
stomach.
He pulls out this like. It's not like a small buckler, but
Yeah.
it's like a round shield.
I'm
it
actually
looks
looking for like a small
fairly-
buckler, so it might be
Yeah.
it might be small for big ones.
It's
but
small for you. sure.
perfect, yeah.
It's perfectly round. In the middle of it, there's like this spiraling shape almost.
Ooh.
So it's almost like looks like a chocolate orange. So, like,
I shall call it Terry.
and then on the outside of it, there's like dwarven runes carved on the outside of it.
That's pretty cool.
And they very much spell out stone whale, as in like
Spell
his
out.
Can you
symbol.
read? Actually,
Anya
that can read dwarven.
Ironbeard.
Can I inspect the quality of?
Do you mind if my he's a smithy himself? He's
Aye, yeah, for sure.
mind if he takes a look?
I'll buy it.
Yeah, hell, you from Cornwall?
I am.
Oh, pleasure to meet you. Then he hands the shield over.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name. What's your name, friend?
Garrick Stonevale.
What's the
Good
name of the
name.
shop again?
Stonevale Smithy.
Stoneville.
Vale. Stoneveil.
Garrick Stonevale. It's a pleasure to meet you. This is my friend
And
Tiny.
what was your name?
You said it actually. My name's the big one.
Oh. Okay. People go by all sorts of strange names here. You wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, I didn't realize it was strange.
Once you met someone whose name is just 9, you kind of get used to it.
There's someone named Nine.
Are they from the Umbrella Academy?
Are you there?
Are you a door guard?
Yeah. There's
I-
quite a few.
I only heard of your kind, but I had never seen you.
We're around.
Here I am.
The shield looks great. Like, it looks very well made. The enchantment is very solid. What you notice almost immediately is that there are no imperfections in it. It is it's almost like sterile in terms of how it was smithed. Like, there were no mistakes at all, no like particular hammer marks or like there's no.
It's like almost perfectly round.
Yeah,
Did you make this?
yeah, it did.
Wow, it's beautiful.
This is very fine craftsmanship.
How
Very-
much?
In
Right.
Cornhall terms, it would be said that this shield has no soul because it doesn't have those imperfections. It doesn't have the like sort of like the smith's like essence put into it, like the hours of like blood, sweat, and tears put into forging it.
The shield.
So
I can-
you like maybe get a bit turned off on it, but it looks flawless.
This is beautiful. The soul is singing to me right now. How much? how
Does
much
it have
for
any
this?
kind of like brand or signature? Or
Yeah, it has like his name on the front
So
of the
cool.
shield.
Yeah, in the
in like
Dwarven
Dwarven
runes.
runes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How much?
That will be.
1,000 platinum.
I think I can let it go for 400 gold.
You gotta get
Turn around.
Hey, hey, Arkmir. do you do loans? Say 200 gold, or even 100 gold, or even 50 gold. That's the end of my message.
You hear a voice from behind you, and he simply says, "Surely they're visitors into our fair city. You can cut them a little bit of a discount. I'll cover maybe a little bit of it. Just let them have the shield for the goods that they're giving you. It's a very fair price." And you turn around and you see Ren just like who slunk up behind you all, or behind the two of you. So Garrett kind of like
Waiting for a response.
Garrett kind of looks back. Fucking Hollowbrook. Sure. The least I can do is 300.
That's a pretty good deal, I think. Well, there's 200 gold right there for what you traded me for my wares, and then I'll pull out another 100 gold.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be able to get apples for a while. And I'll pass them over the total of 300.
You can add a shield +1 to your inventory.
AC up to 20.
Nice.
Ooh.
I'm still at 11.
I ain't dexterous and I ain't going first in initiative, but I might be able to take a couple hits now. And then I'll message you and be like, maybe we can add a few dings to it.
This needs some personality.
Oh, thank you so much. Tybin, did you have anything here? And then I'm just gonna like completely forget about Ren. I made a good deal. Whisper. Message.
I'm heading there.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it takes me to walk.
You'll get there.
Nelly Furtado.
You probably get there like shortly after, like you hear Ren speaking and you like begin to approach the two of them.
I'm curious about two things, friend.
Yeah.
What kind of alloys do you use here? Is it just a regular steel or electro steel or
Mostly
anything
regular steel.
different?
Regular steel, iron, a little bit of the stone from this canyon walls. We mine. There's a few veins of marble, and we kind of mix that in with some of the steel sometimes. It helps the enchanting process because the marble is like a little bit laced with the magical energy that's ruined or caused these caverns to have their own little oddities.
And that's very interesting. Have you ever heard of this blue steel alloy? I have seen that, like only a small piece of it at some point, but
there's so many. Every city has its own bloody way of making steel. I've mostly lived there my entire life, so can't say that I have.
all right. And where one might go to get an existing weapon enchanted?
I don't think there's anyone here. You might have better luck in the canyon. That's where the magic school is, and sometimes the school itself will take on jobs for training some of the students or the apprentices who are studying there. Most of the arcanists tend to live there. I tend to ship my goods over to them, and they enchant them and then send them back.
Does the Arcanist has a name?
There's many of them. Almost everyone who graduates from the university ends up setting up some sort of a shop or a office in the canyon. I'd recommend the one that I worked with last. Her name was Samira.
Samira?
She's right by the orrery, so if you go down into the canyon, hard to miss that building in particular.
Samira the Arcanist by the where?
Shield +1.
Yeah.
God.
Samira the Arcanist by the
Orrery.
Down by the river.
Orrery.
R-E-R-Y.
Just look for the tower-like building with the strange,
Mm-hmm.
gold contraption on top that's always spinning. Kind of hard to miss.
All right. And one last question: have you heard of any other smithy in town that might have come from Cornwall?
I don't think so. We honestly don't get that many visitors. At least not in this wall. Maybe in the west wall. Somebody might have set up shop there, but I haven't.
All right. All right.
I finally acquired my my tank status.
Stank.
My stank status.
Stank.
21 ace.
If you're looking for a contact in the West Wall, I have a cousin there, Zahir. He might be able to point you. He might know more about that wall. He has a similar stall as mine. Think of it like a franchise. In the West Wall, in the Omexus Market Hub.
All right. And do I see anything from his wares that pick my attention for being unusual, for being something that I wouldn't see
Make a perception check.
in Cornwall usually? Perception. 21.
You do notice something, and it's perhaps because the shield that he picked out for the big one, it was a little bit tucked away behind it. It doesn't look like it's something crafted purely of stone, is why it, or purely of steel, is why it stands out to you. It's about like this wide strap of leather with almost like a stone carving on the face. It looks like a belt of sorts. A massive, like this big leather belt with like a stone carving on the front. That looks like almost like a face with like eyes, like gemstones almost like dug into it.
What's that?
Oh, would you like that?
What
It's
is it?
expensive.
What is it?
It's a belt. Let's just say it's a very powerful belt. Makes you strong as a giant.
Strong as a giant?
As you say the word giant, the gemstones on the belt behind it seem to almost like flare up with like a little bit of like red lightning. It's just like scattering.
Red
across.
lightning?
Red lightning that very quickly like fades into like faint blue trails.
Oh. Can I
He doesn't notice this because he's like looking away to you.
Can I say
Give me.
can I say
Oops. Got my eyes on you all. This is quite one of my rarest pieces in my collection. He like picks it up and like hands it to you.
Just imagining Arkmir like his head pops up.
It's
Rare, you see.
has a heft to it. It's heavy. It's heavier than it looks. It's this like dark brown leather, and like in the middle of it is just this big stone face that's carved with like this long narrow nose, blue almost like gems inlaid where the eyes would be, a face or like lips that are just like a straight solid line. It's like a face that's staring back at you.
how do you use this? Why is it so special?
Whoever wears this, they gain the strength of giants.
Me like it. How much do you want to part with this?
1,000 platinum.
I'll tell you in 1 second.
Get ready.
I have 3.
It's gonna be a little bit more than that.
Is this enough?
3,000 platinum.
What?
Yeah, I got that.
This is an incredibly rare piece. Yeah, that's the best I can do.
Have we had a heist in this campaign?
3,000 platinum?
We need you.
Or 30,000 gold.
Is there anything that my shop ever sold? Anything similar to that price? No, right?
No, you didn't really deal with enchanted things as much.
Yeah.
Because there isn't that much of an enchanting facility in Cornwall.
Well, friend, this is fascinating, but
Look, you sold mine
I'm
for
not-
300. Can we come down close to that? Where's our friend?
Red?
He ran away.
You gather by just like the feel of it, and as you look into the eyes, you feel cold on the inside. This is a belt of frost giant strength.
Oh, I know what that is.
I have no idea what it is.
Probably makes her strength like 20 or something.
23, as a matter of fact.
23.
Oh my god.
We will come back for this. It's a purple.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a
Yeah, it changes it to
Purple.
23.
Then there's no effect on any of your strength without the belt is equal to or greater
So
than
it basically
23.
rises
Okay.
you above the limit of 20 and gets you to fucking 23.
god damn.
That'd be what? A plus
You just like
9,
prioritize your
10,
stats.
11?
Oh my goodness.
32?
It's
I don't even know how
plus a
D&D
lot.
works.
It's a plus
Is
thing.
that
Or
6?
plus-
That's fucking insane.
No,
Yeah, but
no,
plus 6 just
plus
from the
7,
strength
plus
stat
6.
alone.
Yeah.
So like it's
It is a
plus
very,
6 plus
very, very
anything you
good
get.
belt.
Like that's insane.
Proficiency bonus.
This is the city to get magic items in, because this is the city of magic.
See if you can put like your
You will
name
need money.
reserving it or something.
Now, where can you get money from? That's the question. You could get Arkmir to steal from that Karen. Arkmir, you do
I
approach
do
them
have
at this point now, where you are now standing with them, kind of like.
And I'm a little shell shocked
Yeah.
at that price. I said, friend, if I would you accept any other form of payment? Is there any service I might be?
Do you have a sister that needs rescuing, or did your child go missing? We could help.
Do you have a child? Are you afraid if they will go missing?
Well, I'm sure they
I don't think so.
Any giant spiders in your
my-
basement?
My cousin's shop over in the Omexus Market Hub does have a similar but weaker belt. If you'd like, that one will probably run you closer to, I would think, 1,000 platinum.
It's a third of the way.
All right. May I ask you one question? Where did you come about this? Did you make this?
No, certainly not. This is one of the rare artifact. There's a few ruins in the desert further south from the city. There's scavengers who go out. They go to the Blight Wall. They go to the ruins near
Blight Wall?
near the fucking tree in the sky, further south of here. They
Fucking tree in the sky?
yeah. You didn't see up. You just came from up top.
It's a
Off to
fucking
the
tree.
east. I guess maybe there was a storm last night.
There was.
No.
Yeah, if you look out to the east from up top, large floating glowing purple fucking tree out in the just yonder.
Now, is this a tree that's fucking, or is it a fucking tree?
It's a fucking tree. Hard to miss, really. But all along the coast there, in particular near the Blight Wall, there's a bunch of ruins and all sorts of scavengers go there. It's quite treacherous, quite dangerous. Most of them, some of them don't come back alive. Some of them do, and they bring back some rare goods. One of the scavengers owed me a favor, so I asked him. I got this off of him. I paid a tidy sum for it, to be honest. The profit that I'm making, and also there aren't really that many people who are looking to buy it. So I'm not even making that much of a profit on it. It's
Insight check on that statement.
make an insight check.
Oh shit.
You believe it with all your heart.
I do believe that, yeah.
Damn, it's actually worth more.
That's
Yeah.
12.
No, I'll give you more.
when he gave it to you, it was covered in dust. Like, it does seem like he's been holding onto this for a while and he hasn't sold it. You're able to tell that just by looking at the condition, and like it was buried under this shield that he sold. So
All right, this is a fascinating belt, and what?
he like, takes it and like puts it back and puts like another fabric on top of it and like hangs like another shield up there.
All right. Well, well met, Garrick. And what's your cousin's name?
What was his cousin's name? Did I say his cousin's name already?
You just said it was
You
in the
mentioned-
Amexis
Oh,
hub, I think.
He has a Walmart.
no. His current name was. Let me think some
Also Garrick.
third. No, his cousin's name was. Rare. No. His cousin's name was Alathor. Alathor.
Alathor?
My name is Garrett. My brother's name is Rar.
I have so many NPC names here for the people who are in this ward, not in the other one.
Keep telling us about these other ones. Or these other areas.
All right. All right.
Astrid, you've gone shopping for fabrics, so you arrive here and you're greeted by this very simply dressed woman with her hair like tied up in a bun, like dark brown hair, and she's got like the scissors that are just like she's just cutting through fabric like into ribbons, and you notice that even without like really looking, every single cut that she's making is perfectly straight.
Wow.
As you approach, she just like, welcome, and she continues cutting, not really even looking at you.
Layla?
That is me. That is me.
Oh,
Yes.
hi, I'm Astra.
Pleasure to meet you.
Have
Is
you
there
had
anything I can
Nas
do for you?
before?
And she, like,
I just
looks
had
up
Nas.
and, like, looks up
Ren. It was recommended by Ren. Well, actually, he didn't recommend it, but I asked at the shop and they said that's what he usually drinks. This is what I'm drinking today. I like Nas. Have you had it?
Oh God.
No.
Anyways, I have some ideas for a couple of outfits. Is that something you can help me with?
Certainly.
Well, I have lots of ideas, some of which I think you might be able to help me with, some of which I think maybe you can point me in the right direction to help me with.
Tying some of the...
I have a pseudo dragon. He's really cute. His name's Hoku. He's not here right now, but I would like to make him a little bunny outfit. Do you have any pink fluffy fabric?
Certainly.
Okay.
She like looks. She pulls out this like massive binder and like puts it on the desk in front of you, and it's just full of swatches.
Okay. So I'm gonna flip through, find a really cute like
Yep.
pink bubblegum, like or bubblegum pink
Yep.
fluffy fabric.
Mhm.
Hoku, he's about this big. I'm gonna do my dimensions as best I can. He's gonna need some slits for the wings.
So you need some sort of a children's outfit with slots for wings. Got
Yep.
it?
And I would like it to be a onesie so that like his little feet are contained.
Do you need it to have a poop hole or not?
That's probably a good idea. Yeah, he should have a bum flap.
Okay.
Does he poop?
Yep.
Rainbow.
How much were you
Skittles.
talking about with that?
Where did the Skittles come from?
Depends. Do you want
Clearly
it
from
done
Robo.
quick? Do you want it done well, or do you want it neither?
Yes. How much for
Okay.
quick?
10 gold. It will be done within the hour.
Okay. And then not quick?
I mean, it's for like a child size. If you pay me like, let's say 3 gold, it'll be done in about 2-3 days.
Okay. Let me come back to that. My next question is, I would like to have like a new dress made. I'm looking to change up my style a little bit.
Yep.
Something maybe like white with maybe some like delicate gold little designs on it.
Anything you want.
Okay.
The swatches are right in front of you.
Okay, and I find something just like that.
Yes.
And I find exactly that.
Yep.
Yes.
I find exactly that, and then I would also like to have like a corset in the middle, perhaps if like you don't do that, maybe you can use the one that I'm already wearing.
Just need to
and
take
add
your
on.
measurements, and like the enchanted like tape measure just like immediately like comes over to you and just like starts flitting about. Raise your arms. She like gestures like this, and without even doing anything, your arms just go up. And you stay strangely still, despite all the hopped up energy that you have in you. You find that you
Okay.
cannot move as the tape measure is just like flitting around, measuring and making sure that it has all of the things that it needs in order to make your
Paragraphs.
test.
Pissed.
Okay.
And then you immediately, as the tape measure kind of like coils up, these measurements just appear on like a piece of paper that she's got on the counter, and you're able to move again.
Okay, I won't go through all like the details right now of like the design that I'm looking for. How much we're talking for that?
Do you want it done within the
3,000
hour, or
platinum.
do you want it done in the next few days?
Depends. How much?
If you want it done within the hour, 12 gold. If you want it done within the next few days, 5 or 6. Let's say 6.
Okay. Next question, before I give you an answer to that one. I really want a flying broom. I've heard that they have flying brooms here. I assume that you probably don't sell them here. You look like you just sell fabric. But here's the other thing that I'm looking for, because I don't really want to carry around a broom everywhere I go. I do have this backpack. It's really handy. It has a little thing in it that contains all the things, but it's not going to work for my broom. I'm wondering, if I find like a nice little brooch, I would like it to be magical so that when I push the brooch, it will summon my broom. Can you point me in the right
Must be
direction
mobile.
of where that will work?
That's certainly not my cup of tea.
Just
Maybe check with.
So good. Finally.
that is really damn fucking good.
Well, when you combine it with
Maybe
that
check at
and that,
Kayla's
that is
or
very rough.
Yeah.
That's good.
yeah, either Kayla's or
Although-
Zahir, maybe.
Okay.
I'm already.
I know.
I need to get that to 20.
I feel like the world is going so fast. Time is going fast. Let's
But
do
also,
it
the
in an
brooms
hour.
are kind of legal property of the academy. I don't think they simply sell those.
But what if I ask really nicely?
Are you a student at the academy?
Do you think I could pass for one?
I don't think so.
Mhm.
Maybe when you're on less NAS.
Okay, I'll wait for this to start wearing off because I'm starting to notice that I'm getting a little bit jittery. Let's do the 1 hour. I'll be back. I'm gonna go check out Kayla or Zahir.
Okay. You dart out. Calder, what are you up to now that you've gotten the waystones and you turn around and your friends are still wandering around between these shops? We'll come back to you shortly.
First thing I would have done was just check the gondola thing to know which direction it's telling me to go.
It's very clearly pointing you towards one of the tunnels. It's one of the tunnels that heads out, kind of like... It's hard to give directions in here because you
Sure.
don't have any way of, like, north and south. It's just one of the tunnels that's exiting from here. Close-ish to the direction that Astra went in.
Okay.
Like, that shot.
Okay. Yeah, I would have been making my way back to the group then, and also trying to see if I can clock this Ren guy again as I'm making my way back to the group.
You see Ren with the 3, like, that are at the blacksmith. He's just kind of, like, hung out near-ish them. Just, like, out of the conversation, but, like, too close for comfort.
Right.
Arkmir, as you came here and you saw this conversation around the purchasing of the belt happening, and the decision not to buy it, what would you like to do as you join your companions at the shop?
Hi there, sir. Arkman Croft, nice to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure's all mine. Garrick Stonewell, at your service.
I see you've already met a few of my acquaintances. I'll see. Oh, it's a nice shield.
Oh, I bartered with them.
Well, I was wondering, maybe see if I can offload a few items or things you might be
Sure.
interested in. And I was gonna pull out the Wayfarer's boot because I only have one of them.
Good, good.
Arkbear, I got you food, but I ate it all because I was stressed.
That's a pretty solid piece. Unfortunately, kind of useless on its own.
Do you have the other one?
No, but I'm sure you can get the other one. I can see if I can find you the other one, or at least a replacement for it.
Do you know what the boot does?
Yes.
Do we know that?
Yeah.
We know that.
think-
I'm just testing you.
Actually, I don't know if I do.
You do.
Okay.
I think we did identify it now that I think about it.
Walking speed increases by 10 feet, and you have advantage on wisdom survival checks.
Yep.
And then
God damn, I need those boots.
Oh, I need those boots too.
As a bonus action, you can invoke the boost runes to cast Expeditious Retreat. With
Holy
Oh, it's
fuck,
Expeditious
we need
Retreat.
that. I need that
and
boot.
then once
For some
they've
reason,
been
holy
invoked,
shit.
they can't be invoked again until the next dawn. But yeah,
once per day.
just peace out.
I can see if I can
Peace
find
in the
there's probably a few enchanters who have maybe willing to do me a favor and slap the rest of the enchantment on it.
Yeah.
Since it's only half of it, it'll only cost half as much. So
That would be great.
there.
How should we stay in touch?
I'd recommend just coming by here.
Can I get your
It's,
number?
Well, I mean, if he's leaving you a boot, maybe we could borrow the belt off.
Pretty equal exchange.
I mean,
I'm just
this
messing with you, friend.
will cost you. The one boot will probably cost you close to about 2,500 gold.
That makes sense. Enchanting
Enchantment's expensive.
Do you?
If you want to sell me that boot, we'll give you about 1,250 for it.
That's more
Not
money
bad.
I've ever seen in my life.
Give us some time to think about it. If that's all right. I've also got a few other. I've come across a few swords, and
Swords, you say?
just a few options of considering.
Are you all scavengers? Do you go into the ruins? Where'd you come and buy all these things? you came down the elevator today. I think I saw you. You're big, kind of hard to miss. Most of the people who come down this elevator are devout, holy people on a pilgrimage of sorts. Don't usually have very many swords. Let's just say.
I'm an escort for a
He's
holy
an
friend.
escort.
I'm just an escort.
We got lost. There was a big storm outside yesterday. We got lost.
Okay.
But I was wondering, a few swords with a few abilities, and curious. One, if those were of interest to you, or two, if that's something that you could possibly combine. Something,
It depends on the nature of what you're looking to do. There are certainly arcanists and enchanters in the city who can move enchantments around between items. Depending on the enchantment, you might be able to combine them into the same item, but that would be very expensive. Just the materials cost for it alone, not even the time of the enchanters, is quite can run you a pretty penny.
Alright. Okay. Well, in that case, maybe I'll just show you these swords and you can let me know
Okay,
what you
sure.
want.
Which ones would you have?
So there's Cutting Wind. Do that first.
That's a fart.
Yep. Just one of those. There's 3 swords in total.
Yeah, this one's not that special. I'll give you maybe like 300 gold for it.
Okay. I imagine Moontouch Sword probably won't be as well.
That's even cheaper.
Yeah.
He points to the wall and he's got like 2 that have like the same enchantment just like dangling from there.
And then I'll ask about the bladed word.
He looks at it and like lifts it up into his hand. This is a fine weapon. Strange. It's looks like fey touched in some way. I'm not really a collector of Fey Touch relics. I can mostly just price it as the sword that it is, but if you can find somebody who is more interested in relics of the Fey in particular, you might be able to get more for this. I'd price it at about 4,000 gold.
Okay.
Or
Really
400
honest.
platinum. But if I can see if you want, I can check with my sources, see if there's any collectors around who are maybe interested in pieces such as this.
Sure. Yeah, maybe the next time we see you, we can catch up on that. I guess last thing I want to know is just what other goods do you have here?
Honestly, mostly weapons and armor. Most of the goods that have come in recently have been just like the stuff that I got enchanted.
Yeah.
I do have a few. Let me just go through it quickly. Just roll for me a d20.
I've used all my good luck. Oh, nice. 17.
Okay. Now roll a d10.
This one. 6 or not? Wait, which one is that?
That's the. Yeah, it'd be 60, right?
This one? Yeah, 60. Yes. Yeah. That'd be 90.
What is your roll?
60. 6. Sorry. 6.
60.
Roll a d10. 60.
I don't think like end game stuff.
I mean, the last thing that came by were these. He lifts out these like gloves of sorts. They're like leather gloves, but they have like sharpened fingernails almost. I don't really know what to do with these. They're more for people if they want to like claw at things or maybe dig. I think miners might be able to like make good use of this to dig through a mine. Yeah, they kind of just help you dig stuff really quickly and scratch stuff real fast.
I see. So you're just looking to get rid of these?
Yeah, if you'd like.
How much were you thinking?
2,500 gold. They're good. I tell you, they're good.
Magical
He
items.
like holds on to them, and he like reaches down under him, and he just starts clawing away at the ground, and unnaturally quickly, like he just digs a hole and like burrows under it to the ground.
Magic.
Like he physically,
Within, like, the
he
next-
physically goes underneath the
Within the
ground.
next like as inhumanly fast, he like disappears under the ground, and then like 10 seconds later pops up behind you, out
it's a
digging
tunnel
his way
digging.
out of the ground. See, they're useful.
Oh my god.
They're not. I don't even know if I'd call them weapons, but you need to dig your way somewhere. Think about it. And he
What are
like
these
drops
called?
them. Delver's claws.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Alright. Well, thank you for entertaining me, Garrett. Delaware Claws.
How much did you say those were?
2,500.
2,500 gold.
Start making note of all these shop items so we can come back eventually.
When we're rich.
Once we get dragons.
Booty.
No, I have the directions to someone's house where they have a lot of money. She's not gonna be there.
Unrelated, think about this because I remembered these gloves. There were this other set of gloves that's fairly minor enchantment on them. They help you catch arrows that are flying at you. So if something's coming at you, you can just like.
That's so
Papa!
scary.
You've been shish
Yeah, you
kebab
might
before.
want that.
They're cheap.
How-
I'll
what's
sell them to you
cheap?
for like 400 gold.
Start sweating again. Damn it. assuming they're called missile snaring gloves.
Gloves of missile snare.
Yeah.
I would love those. I'm just a little. You cleaned me out earlier.
These armors that I see over there in the corner. How much would one of those run? And I'm asking about like a +1 chainmail.
A +1 chainmail?
Yeah.
See, the beauty thing about getting that shield.
It's roughly
Now I
about
can
the
take
same
off
as the
my
shield,
enhanced
to be
armor
honest,
infusion,
if not more.
put it on
100.
something else.
Uh,
Or I stay with 21. I can see.
What?
yeah, probably like
I'm
3,000
looking
gold.
something up.
3,000 gold.
I don't want to look like stupid head when
How much
I
was the
say the
shield?
wrong
Sorry, I
thing.
don't
The shield
400?
was
400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't it top
roughly,
It was. But
the chainmail
cost
would,
was 400.
because it's like a larger piece, probably 500 gold.
All right. Well, I have this one, and it also has an enchantment on it that keeps it always clean. It's Clanko's clean chainmail.
Oh, I forgot you had that.
How much would you give me for this?
It's a bit rudimentary. Probably 100 gold.
Terrible.
Can I convince you to take this plus 272 gold pieces?
Arkmir.
Roll a persuasion check.
How?
Let's see how far he gets with his buzzard. This wouldn't happen otherwise.
Well, let me,
Calculator and Asher, you kind of noticed that your companions have been standing by the same stall for quite a while now as you're walking around.
He's cleaning us
21.
out.
21.
Tell you what, are you planning to go to the other wall, to the Omexos Marketum?
Alright.
I'll give it to you for that price, 272 gold. If you can do me a favor when you're there.
You're a missing child after all.
No. My cousin.
Alright.
He's not exactly the best blacksmith, and you look like you're a quite talented blacksmith. It seems like you carry yourself with ease. You were looking at at the shield with an expert's eye.
I take Stoneheart. This is my work.
That's a mighty fine weapon. Seems a little bit cracked, but
Cracked?
it does actually have cracks on it where the red lightning comes from.
You're just noticing
I
that.
thought that the stone core was smooth, but
The core is, but like around it, there's like just honestly from use and from age, like the hammer, like channeling all this energy. It's mighty fine work. There's a piece that he's looking to finish. If you can help him with that, probably won't take more than one evening. You can consider us even.
I can do that if you take 200 gold plus my chainmail, because my work is also not cheap.
Roll another persuasion.
Oh shit. I use the same dice. Oh, not too bad. 17.
Fine. I'll allow it.
I'll give you 400 for the armor right now if you let me. I'm just I don't have 400.
Yeah, that's fine. He's looking to put the finishing touches on a spear that he's been forging.
Spear?
He's quite good with the handle work and he's good with the shaft, but just honing the edge, he needs a little bit of work on it.
Alright, I can
He
do
asked
that.
me to come over, but I'm too busy managing the shop. I'd have to shut the shop down in order to head over there for a day or two to do it. If you're planning to head to the west wall, you can help him out with that. I'd appreciate it.
What's his name?
You already
was it?
said it's
Alathor.
Alathor.
Rar.
Okay, you're happy.
Rawr.
You call him a rar.
Oh, that's Rar.
Oh,
That's his, oh, it's his cousin.
Rawr.
His name is Rar, and he's good with the chef.
Oh, all right. Just to expedite the above table
Yep.
plate armor's a lot more.
Plate armor's
expensive,
a lot
right?
more expensive.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I thought. Okay.
Even non-enchanted plate armor.
it's like
Yeah.
1500 base.
Yeah. So all right. Cool. So I take mine out. I put the new.
He just gets naked right in the market.
I wear some
You
stuff
still have
underneath.
breeches?
I don't believe.
He's got a little thong on.
Yeah.
It has a little like a little undershirt.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Silthia, what did you have to do?
Well, I would have just been hanging out off to the side, waiting for them to wrap up. So once they're done, I'll approach. I don't know if that's now or not.
Yeah, guy, I have no more money.
Last
I'm a
thing we
little
do,
bit,
like
but it's
real quick
emergency
if it's
fund.
possible, is
Yep.
over on the clothing side, just for
Mhm.
changing looks. Finally ditching my trench coat.
The duster?
What?
Still be holding on to it somewhere, but in case I need to throw it at someone.
Yeah.
But he still has his kind of like a dress shirt, like the collar.
Mhm.
But he'll look for just like a
Vest.
vest to go over that, and a beret that kind of sits.
Hell yeah.
What?
Nice.
Yep, you're able to very easily find that. In terms of like the custom, like character customization stuff, we can do that afterwards. You can come up with whatever
Yeah.
changes you want. All attire here it'll roughly cost you about 10 to 15 gold. No more. than
Yeah,
that.
mine already changed a few episodes ago. So
Yep.
I'm good.
Astra, for expediency's sake, you go to a few shops. They don't really have anything in particular that you're looking for that creates this like pocket dimension that a broom can fit in.
Okay.
But they do mention that there's probably enchanters in the canyon who might be able to help you with that.
Okay.
It seems like all the stuff here that's sold here is usually things that are scavenged from the ruins, or things that have been made here and then sent there to get enchanted and then sent back. Any like rather like sophisticated magic items that are like very specifically one-time like specific use cases, those are built and like made in the canyon itself.
Okay. And then I also would have asked around to find out where the academy is, like how close it is.
It's in the canyon. They say it's hard to miss. It's one of the two big buildings, the two biggest buildings. Funnily enough, one of the people who you asked for it, mentions to you, oh, if you're down there, there's the river's flowing down the middle-ish. There's an island in the middle. You can't miss it. There's this large silver tree that's just broken apart into small shards that are just kind of floating there. It's in the very middle of the canyon, just across from that. Can't miss it.
That's where the academy is?
Yep.
Cool. How do I find the armor plus one here?
It's yeah.
I think you do a search for chainmail.
Yeah, I searched for chainmail, didn't give me.
That
And then-
description kind of stands out to you. There's this like
And
large
Yeah,
glowing
nothing.
silver tree
Really?
trunk
did they have it separate?
that's shattered
Oh.
in places and it's floating in midair.
Maybe they
Oh, it's
did.
floating.
Well, the shards
The
of it
shards
are
are
kind of
floating.
floating above.
It would be green.
That's the landmark that they give you, and it immediately rings a bell
Oh,
in
it's
your
blue.
mind.
Oh, it's blue.
Just add it to your equipment. That you
But
just have
silver?
to add it
Yep.
as
Yeah.
a wear in your under your equipment.
Okay.
Make an intelligence saving throw for it.
Yeah, they usually the like better armor, better AC armor is
Now or
usually
maybe
a bit
later.
Oh, saving
But I'll
throw.
also take a look at the scrolls that.
Oh yeah.
16.
The last time you touched a silver tree trunk, you turned into a
Oh
dragon.
yeah, that was
Oh.
down in the
Oh.
fucking
Under a
thing.
mountain.
There's that shard, and you got it, and then you went all har. Wait, not har, but har.
Sounds like
You
a big dragon or something,
distinctly have
yeah.
that memory come
Yeah,
back.
I should turn into giant Hoku.
The scrolls that you pick out, one of them, they're both arcane magic scrolls. You'd probably have to spend a little bit of time identifying them. You unravel them, and there's like spells and runes carved on them.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to spend like a short rest to identify them to see what they are. But there are two of them. One of them, like the steel on it, the ribbon and seal on it seems fairly ornate and fancy. The other one seems pretty plain.
Thick boys.
As do you all gather together at the end
Sorry
of
we
this?
spent so long. That was a beautiful store.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
So, friends, are you
Oh, God,
ready
yeah.
to leave? Where is it? You going to the Omexis Market Hub? I can go and get us waystones to help you make your way there.
That would be great, actually, if you could grab
Thank you. Just wait right here for me. And he turns around and walks
Do we
over.
run? Do we book
Slide.
it?
Once he's several paces away and out of earshot, I got wasted.
Calvin, you're a genius.
We really should be going now. And then I'm gonna see which direction it is, which was the direction she was
It's
going.
one of the
She's-
tunnels that's like pretty close to here, and you immediately start making your way through the crowd. I would like you all to make a stealth check to see if you're able to hide from Ren. He's not really paying that much attention to you, but he might notice when he turns around and says they're gone.
I got
Both
a nat,
you and me.
nat 20. Yeah, buddy.
Oh! Thankfully, he rolled a nat one. So
Thank
it's
God.
pretty unlikely
Okay.
that he'll notice.
I rolled a
any of you.
19 and a 3
I rolled 2 16s for a 13.
because I have a disadvantage.
That's about as good as you
Wait,
can
why
get
you
for
have
me.
disadvantage?
Not great.
Oh, wait.
Armor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
13.
17.
Wait, you have disadvantage too? 3 of us have disadvantage?
5.
4.
He rolled a nat 1 with a +3, so even if it had failed and passed, it would have been a 4. So he did not notice as you all managed to slip away. He just wanted to help.
I rolled a 10 and a 3.
I'm just waiting
Before we
for him
can
to be a
I
gang
have
boss.
like picked up my stuff, like my clothing, like an hour. I
Yeah,
assume
we
it
can
passed?
say that
Okay.
enough time has passed that you're able to, because you went to the shop to place your
First.
order as soon as possible. There was
Yeah.
a lot of this like other conversations that were happening.
Okay.
We can say that you picked it up. You could also always come back if you would like. If you
I've
want to buy that
removed
belt
the
of
gold.
Frost Giant Strength, you might want to. As you begin, you enter this tunnel, and immediately, almost like the din from behind you seems to die out. It seems to get pretty muffled. Almost at a certain point, you step over like a threshold, and you can't hear it at all. It seems like there is some sort of enchantment in place to stop this from disturbing the people who are living here. And you notice that in this tunnel along the side, there are actually houses, homes, like doors that have like either dug into the tunnel. Some of them are like wooden houses. Some of them are like a little bit more fancy. They've got like brickwork and stuff. You gather that the ones closest to the market are fancier. And almost immediately, this path just begins to wind and turn, and you lose sight of where you came from.
We're following the stone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out the one that I have. Where's
It's pointing in the same direction for now.
Oh, okay.
But you very quickly reach like a fork where there's this like other tunnel that's kind of like sloping off to the right and going downwards, whereas your waystone is actually pointing you upwards to the left, and the waystone that you're holding is pointing downwards to the right.
I'm gonna just.
I would assume so.
Why? Is mine broken?
Can we? Wait, is it silent here? Like we can't hear?
You can hear each other, but there's
Oh.
the noise from behind you.
Oh,
is
sorry,
not
I
there.
It's past the
understand.
threshold,
Yeah.
and then that area.
That
is
area
silent.
got
They,
quiet. Got
they
it.
made it so that the noise from the market doesn't bother the people who live here.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Interesting.
through arcane means.
Yeah. It's this way. Let's keep moving. I'm just.
How do these work? You're just keeping us going.
Yeah.
I'm continuing.
Yeah, I'm walking with you.
Yeah.
I'm just very confused as to how these stones work.
You're leading away. Roll a d20.
1.
Perfect. White dragon.
You take the direction of my stick.
So it's strange. You spend like the next like 15, 20, 30 minutes following the stone. And there's houses to your left. You pass by like the small statue of a youngish looking man holding up a sword pointed to the sky, and you regard it, or not sky, but the ceiling of the tunnel. You regard it and you continue walking, and about 20, 30 minutes later you find yourself at a fork in the road. Arkmir, your waystone is pointing you down and to the right down this fork. And Kalthir, as you look forward in front of you, the way that your arrow is pointing, there's the statue of the boy holding up a sword to the roof.
I'm going to try to see if I can tell, if I can figure out that it is the same one, or just, as in the identical one, or somebody just has the same, the same statue appears multiple times.
Make an Arcana check.
Arcana check.
Would I recognize that it's the same visually, just having known that it's like previously a fork in the road and mine said right? Yeah. We'll do a roll.
I think both of you gather the exact same place that you were in. But you don't realize how that could have possibly been. It gives you a strange feeling, similar to the strange temple that you had been in, the Constellarium, underneath Ward 3, was it?
Yeah.
The one with the laboratory?
Yeah, underneath the Mushroom Lounge.
Yeah, that was Ward 3.
Yeah, in Schema.
God damn it.
What's going on, Kalthir?
I don't know. They said to just keep following this. Sometimes you can get stuck. Let's just keep moving. And I keep moving forward.
Roll a d20 for me.
12.
Okay. As you begin to make your way down this time, the path is different than what you'd been down last time, whereas before it seemed to be curving a little bit more to the left. Now it's curving more to the right, and you notice different buildings. Mostly houses. You walk past one with a few children who are just playing outside in the front with this ball that's just floating around, and they're trying to hit it with a stick and move it around. And you're laughing in the distance, and you continue onwards, and eventually you arrive at another fork in the road. And this time your waystone says to continue going straight. There's 3 or 4 pathways, just to continue going straight. Roll a d20 for me. Or if someone else wants to roll a d20, you can.
Go for it. I'm just casting Psychic Whispers, but now to you, Kalthir, is everything alright? We seem like you're in a hurry.
We should keep moving. We're taking a long time.
Okay.
That's 6.
As you go down this path, eventually in front of you, this path becomes seems to be narrowing. The walls seem to be almost closing in, and it becomes harder to make your way through. You're having to slow down, maybe crawl in a few places. The walls almost over here there are no houses. There's just almost a tunnel. It's winding. You're having to step up and over some rocks. It's slow. It's not fast, and as this keeps happening, you get more and more frustrated as you're leading the way. I think the rest of you can tell at this point that Kalthir is a little bit on edge.
I'm pushing through. The smaller it goes, I'm still going.
Spelunking. I've done this before, guys.
I'm gonna get stuck.
So where are we right now? We're just going through this narrow path.
You eventually break through it. It takes you a little bit, probably about an hour or so later. You emerge into almost a little bit of a square plaza. There is a small fountain over here. It's not a dolphin or anything. It's just a small fountain. There's some benches beside it. There's an old man who's just sitting there reading a book. Seems like a pretty nice, peaceful life, to be honest. Roll a d20.
6.
Jesus Christ.
It's gonna be a while.
You follow the waystone. You go straight forward. It turns a couple of times, and about half an hour later, you arrive at the same fountain.
I'm gonna walk
old
over
man's
to.
still sitting there. He's a little bit further in his book. He looks up at you all. This time you come in from a different side of the fountain, so he's sitting on an opposite end.
We'll go over to Kalthir.
Where are you all going, folks? The old man just looks up and looks at all of you. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not acknowledging that guy.
Wait, do we know where we're going?
Kelter's been leading you,
Yeah.
and he has like a stone.
I'm
in his
going
hand
over
that
to
you wanna
Kelter and
follow.
I'm like, I don't, do you
You've
think
been-
if I try to grab the stone from you?
Like, you just want to take it out of my hand?
Yeah, to start, like, do you mind if I try and lead her?
Maybe you can figure this out better.
He throws
You
it
walk
at
up
you.
Yeah, I
to
just noticed
Kelter
it.
and put a hand on his shoulder. A little homesick, are we?
The sun's getting real.
Pat his bald head a little bit.
I don't know how this kind of works. I just have it there, so there's an arrow pointing.
It's just pointing you in one of the directions. It's pointing you, strangely enough, down the same tunnel that you'd think you just went down. But
All right, let's go. If you're not gonna explain it,
as you continue following your way through and you walk past this, the old man in the back just says out loud in an old croaky voice, sometimes you don't end up where you want to go. You end up where you need to go, lads. You'll continue
I
walking.
thought he
I
just
cast
died.
a guiding bolt on it.
He was just like,
What are we going?
I don't know.
I thought you guys knew.
I'm gonna roll a d20 for me.
No one's asking. You're just following me.
I have asked.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a journey.
Yeah, that was. Is there any modifiers? Just
No,
straight.
it was just
It's 13.
Another half an hour or so later, you can see off in the distance as this tunnel is like winding. You see light
13.
in front of you.
I swapped it out with the other stone. No.
You see light in front of you off in the distance. At this point now, you've been traveling for the better part of like 4 hours, and you see off in the distance a light. And as you continue climbing up there, you emerge onto a large, almost like wooden terrace that's carved into the face of the wall.
I thought
As
we were
you
gonna
look out,
end
you
up
can
at the old man.
see-
He's like finishing the
You
sentence.
look out, and across from you, it's like this massive canyon. Above you, you can see crystal glass that's forming the ceiling over here. Above the glass, you can see like large, like a bolt of red lightning that's just like dancing across
Is this
from
the
the storm
Crimson
that's
Canyon?
constantly above you.
Crimson
This
Canyon.
wooden terrace is just looking out over this expanse. You can see like a walkway that's kind of been built along the wall of this canyon, and you also see like a handful of bridges that are spanning across of the canyon as well. These are incredibly long bridges. The canyon itself is probably like half a kilometer across.
Big canyon.
You're about like halfway,
Pretty even.
a little over halfway down in terms of how far away you are, and just looking out over the canyon, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Like down at the base of the canyon is like lush green grasses, trees, marble structures, glowing statues, just a beautiful landscape with large buildings. In the middle, you do see this almost an island of sorts, and this river that's flowing through it. And growing out of this island in the middle is a bright silver, almost like as though it were made of liquid metal, tree trunk, like the base of a giant tree. And at the top of the trunk, it's almost like broken into like chunks, like shards of bark that are just floating, suspended in midair, right in the middle of this thing.
Hey, remember that time I turned into a Hoku? But like big Hoku after I touched the thing that looked like that thing?
At the far end of the canyon, you notice a large building with like a
underneath?
dome at the top
Yeah,
and like a couple of
yeah,
minarets.
that's
That's carved into almost the southern edge of the canyon. That's one of the largest buildings there in the canyon. And then on the opposite end, the northern end, there's a slightly smaller building that's a little bit less ornate. It's almost got these like tall like Greek columns that you can see. And carved at the top of that, it just says There's just carved on the top an inscription that just says in common, or actually no, it would be in Celestial. Who can read Celestial?
Oh, I might
Okay.
be able to.
To those who can read Celestial, it says, "To do better, one must know better."
Where do I see that?
I wonder what it says in those written texts.
I'm Kelthir, you can read that, can't you?
Guys!
No, I can't read that. Never mind.
Where was that on top of?
One of the buildings that's still like a little bit
Oh.
down from you,
North
but
side
it's high
building.
enough up that you can make out the inscriptions. It's on a smaller building.
So
I mean,
it's
it's
the
large,
Shkuru.
but it's on the northern end of the canyon. But you can see it off in the distance. It's got like large Greek columns, and you see honestly down below you hundreds of people just milling about in the canyon, walking from place to place like tiny little ants. Seems it's beautiful. The waystone that you're holding, Arkmir, is pointing you further down this walkway that's along the face of this canyon.
Do I see a gondola? Did you say
You
that?
do. You do notice that at the end of this walkway there is a large, almost like a. It's more of an elevator, to be honest, but it's attached with like a cable to
Okay.
and like a pulley system.
So it's
Is it going?
It goes like kind of straight down, but like a little bit
kind of off a bit.
It's not
Yeah.
going the way we're looking. It's going north south, right? Or is
It's going down into the canyon.
Okay.
The walkway is going along the canyon wall, and then this is at the end of this walkway that's going like almost down to the base. And then the walkway continues on and winds up. There's like another couple of tunnels that are popping up around it. There's a point where there's just like it's almost like stairs that are built into the side of this wall that go down to another walkway that's down below. Tunnel entrances and stuff all scattered around this wall, almost like an ant hive of sorts. But where this middle part of the hive has just been broken, like it's gone.
Interesting.
Oh, I was just gonna.
You
Just
I'm
so I
just
understand
messaging
the
you, but-
canyon.
Yep.
Are there buildings like on the valley
Yeah.
itself? 'Cause
Mo-
you mentioned
a
the
lot of
river. I didn't understand.
there is a river winding through the middle of the valley, like at the bottom, with like large. This canyon is wide, right?
Mhm.
And at the bottom of it, at the bottom in the valley, there is like a winding path and roads and like buildings that are built there. The two largest landmarks are on opposite ends of the canyon, so like the north end and the south end. But down below, there's like parks. There's many buildings. There's houses. There's all sorts of strange things.
And then in the middle, there's the island with the tree.
Yeah, in the very middle is
Okay.
the island with the tree.
Okay, so-
Which
Got
one
it.
of you talked about the orrery?
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
Garrick telling me that Samira the Arcanist by the Orrery.
Yes. You can make out from here. There's a very visible. There's like a tall cylindrical, almost like a tower of sorts, about 3 or 4 stories tall. And at the top of it is this contraption of like discs and spheres that are just like made of solid gold that are like spinning and moving and rotating and like are forming all sorts of like strange patterns. Like you're looking at a model of like stars and galaxies that are just like turning on their own on the top of it. Which is what Garrick mentioned to you, that like look for this tower, it's got like a gold structure that's constantly moving on top of it. Calclear. As you all approach this exit, and you, Arkmir looks down at the bottom of this walkway, your eyes catch something. You catch a small building that's just nestled into a nook near this exit out onto this terrace, made of dark black and purple stone.
Incredibly.
You just see almost like a door, and from the inside you just see pale moonlight that's just glowing within.
This is up where we are, or down?
This is at like you've exited from this like tunnel.
Yeah.
This is near the exit of the tunnel in the canyon itself.
Okay.
It's like a structure. It's basically an entrance almost that's built into the like canyon wall itself.
Okay.
That's where I want to actually message Kelthir beforehand, saying, Kelthir, are you running from something, or are you running towards something like the Dark Regrets? But we're here to help you.
So the whole time we've been going, I have been kind of like just moving, like not really paying attention to what's going on.
Legs to barely keep up.
What's that?
Elephant legs.
So even when we broke the tunnel there, I think I would have kept moving towards the gondola right away, but would have, I guess, clocked this thing, which halted me for a second, probably around the same time that you messaged me.
You would have felt more than anything the statue that dangled by your head.
Oh, you're
Vibrator went off?
Yeah.
You would have felt it almost like strained towards.
Yeah.
This statue you took from the cavern before we entered the Red Lightning portal for the first time?
Yeah.
That area that had like the two...
But you've seen it. It's been at my side for a while now. Like, I've used it in combat as well. So I think I would have stopped for a second to, like, kind of almost stunned as you, I guess, messaged me that. And I think I would turn back towards you and out loud...
He just has vampire fangs and his eyes are red.
Die! And I think I'd probably just say...
Go ahead.
The longer we stay, the longer she's trapped there.
What?
Sorry. How well do you really know Lady Garnet?
He said Lady Gaga.
She's a terrible actress.
What do I know?
Is this out loud?
No,
Yeah,
I
he
said it out loud.
yeah.
He didn't say anything. I just turned to him and said that.
Yeah, he's getting very confrontational with me. How old is Argmir?
Archmere starts crying.
Not really. You don't really know her that well. If anything, she requested an audience with you and sent like the guy who looked very much like you.
Right.
Salvier was his name.
She seems to know me more than I know about her.
Do I believe him?
Make an insight check.
I do need to take off in a second.
Roll up persuasion or deception check.
Christ,
based
well,
on
you're gonna
whether you
beat
are
that
lying
easy.
or not.
Holy fuck.
What'd you do?
Rolled insight really poorly, but it kind of probably fits with my mood.
Persuasion or deception?
Yeah, based on whether you're lying or telling the
You have to
truth,
tell
but
me which
don't
one you
say
did.
that.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't matter. They're both equal to me.
Okay.
I don't know. I can...
You don't have to say which one, just what's your number. I rolled
29.
You absolutely destroyed me, so I definitely believe what you're saying. I'll look through the door for a second. If I'm like near it and I look through it, can I see anything beyond just what appears to be moonlight? Okay.
You just see. I mean, you can make out like a chamber further in,
Mm-hmm.
and the moonlight is within the chamber.
Okay. Sorry. I know you all don't know much about me, and I know I've asked for privacy before. When we arrived here, Riker, after you all had gone to bed, he informed me that our friend Salvia had brought people to the city. I believe one of them is a dear friend of mine. And I believe they have her prisoner.
You have friends?
You have friends?
You have friends?
This is the first time, too. Yeah.
I can drive you if you want.
Oh, that'd be...
Yeah. If you just want to finish this out, I can drive you. That's fine.
Thanks, man.
Psych.
Yeah.
He's gonna fall off.
Yeah. Why didn't you tell us?
For reasons I can't get into, I cannot tell you everything.
Are you in trouble?
I don't believe I am, but I think she is.
Is this a romantic friend?
Maybe
I
those
don't
kind of
respond.
questions can wait.
Or
If time is of the essence.
Is she in there?
What? Yes.
Are they in there? Did you say she?
She.
Oh, is she in there?
Are you to
I'm
the?
suggesting to the thing that you guys were both looking at.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't believe she's here. It
Oh.
sounded like potentially Garnet is at the Gilded Oasis.
Oh, maybe that's why you were summoned there.
I don't know why I was summoned there. But... Sorry, that's where your friend is?
I don't know where she is, but if it was Silthia leading prisoners working for Garnet, that would be potentially where they're
Place.
kept.
Above table, does Timon remember any sort of attitude like this when we first visited Lady Garnet?
From Calther, you
From
mean?
Calthier.
I don't think so.
I think he was
So, yeah.
justified right now on.
So,
Yeah.
what makes you think that Lady Garnet has your friend?
Because Riker said they were her prisoners.
is she pretty?
I ignore that as well.
I just want to know. This is important so I can recognize who she is. We gotta know
but
what
why-
she's like.
Why would they think that? Like, why would Riker know about your friend? This is the first time that we see him. Have you been here before? Do you
No,
know
but
Riker?
Believe, as you've come to find, there are not too many individuals who have my resemblance.
Uh-huh.
Actually, we're finding kind of the opposite, aren't we?
Heard of two others now?
I think
Yeah,
more we
that
bring
are, like,
specific
identical.
people that share similar look.
There's only one
Oh.
other person you saw that looked like me.
Two, technically. Salvia and Garnet.
Yeah.
I don't mean to say this in a rude way, but if your friend is truly in danger, we should probably approach it in a more smart and strategic way rather than going in, hear me out, a little hot-headed.
Yeah.
We will help, certainly.
Well, you have me on your side.
I just got a new shield that needs a few new dents.
You're probably right. I wasn't expecting this, and honestly, I didn't really know how to approach it.
Have you been looking for her for long?
No.
This is going to be a random question, but is her name also Anya? I just want to make sure.
Two birds. That would be really
Yeah,
She's my
convenient.
sister,
Actually.
and her name is Anya.
Holy shit!
Not exactly. But I have not been able to contact her for several days.
What's her name?
Wait, you've been in contact with her? Well,
I have contacted her previously.
Can you message her?
I've
Like
tried
you can?
for days.
Maybe she's being suppressive.
It would appear so. I honestly didn't know if she was still alive.
Well, we're in the right place if they saw her. Seems like we need to go to the Gilded Oasis.
Before we go rescue Mrs. Calthier, maybe we can go back to the market and get like some flowers and chocolates and stuff. You don't want
You've
to show
been,
up
you've
empty.
been
don't
reading
think
and dreaming of too much smutty stuff, Astra.
I don't think the moment calls for that.
Yeah. But no, we can certainly help. If you want to go in guns a-blazing,
she was like,
we can do that.
That's probably not the wise move, and honestly, that's not really my expertise.
Cute.
I didn't know what to do. I just knew I had to act quickly.
What
Certainly.
if they are? If they told you this, it might be a trap. They might be.
Could be a trap for you
If-
too.
They might be trying to lure you there, and then. Like, why would they tell you that they have something that you want so dearly?
Riker, he was a real grump
It-
too.
I can't be certain, but it sounded like Riker, or folks Riker is acquainted with, do not like Lady Garnet. And believed that potentially we may be able to help, and I may be interested in helping, knowing
true.
that they have someone who looks like me.
Well, are you sure you want to go see her, or alternatively?
I honestly don't know, but it sounds like you've been summoned.
I mean, I can go.
Yes.
That doesn't require you to come along.
Well, let's just break
It's
this
true.
down. If you have to go to the Gilded Oasis, we can certainly, whether it's all of us or part of us, go and see what's there. My question to you is, if we go there with you, and this friend of yours is on display as a pet, as a servant, are you going to be able to act rationally until we figure out what to do? Or is it best for Arkmir and maybe a couple of us to go scout ahead, figure out if this is going to be a break and enter, a heist, or...
I'd like to believe I can stay composed, but I've never been in this situation before.
That's fair. That's fair.
Is the thing still...
Not really. I think
That
it
could
was
help
to
with
draw your
release of
attention.
tension.
Okay. Yeah.
Never mind.
It was mostly to draw your attention to this place.
Do you have any connection? You looked over at this weird house thing. Should we go
I
inside?
believe... I don't know. My goddess may have tried to get my attention here. I don't know, perhaps I should...
I have Calthir equals Castor Troy equals Dolphin equals Mary. We finally have Calthir backstory, baby. Yeah.
Perhaps that will help clear my head. I don't know what this place is, but there appears to be moonlight coming, like, inside of it.
As long as I've known you, you like moonlight.
Do we see that?
We can see it.
Okay, it's not just something that's like...
Again, I don't want
There's just a wall. I'm just looking at a wall.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but if your friend is there, and if she's in danger, she's no more in danger than if we run in there and get her even worse in danger, or if we think it through a little bit. Maybe, I know time is of the essence here, but let's do it smartly. What if you got like a glowy, shiny sword in that room?
I am quite the sword wielder.
We have a cool sword thing.
Can we find some allies? Can we find someone who knows the city, who can...
There's a
Tell
guy
us-
that's been
Yeah.
following for a long time.
Red just
Yeah.
shows up. Right?
On that, I don't know who that individual is, but he was tailing me when we first arrived.
Is that why you snuck away? I noticed that.
Oh, yes. I'm not quite
Okay,
as...
so maybe not red, but
Not quite as
I'm not sure we have
stealthy
anybody we
as
can
you.
trust in here.
But he was keeping an eye on me and following me around the market. I don't know why.
He could be a spy for any of them.
Well, maybe we can trust Riker, as grumpy as he is. He did give you that intel. Also, I have a new trick that might help. I haven't shown you guys yet.
She turns blue.
I was just gonna be hooked on the outfit.
I look around to make sure like nobody else is looking, and then I snap my fingers and
New dress.
I look like Lady Garnett.
Whoa.
But not only that, when I speak identical to her. I sound just like her.
Ah!
No, it's okay. It's
Go run!
She's been here the whole time.
Wait. Maybe we can use something like this where I pretend I'm
This is
Lady
really
Garnett
weird.
and I
You recognize her, even though you've never have seen this
Oh,
person
yeah,
before.
yeah.
or I could be a guard of
It's
Lady
just weird to see
Garnett.
Asher as Lady Garnett.
Yeah.
Perhaps if we need to come up with some sort of plan that requires...
And
breaking
I
her
know
out.
what you guys are gonna say. They're gonna detect magic, but like Lady Garnett, she's gonna have magic radiating from
So,
her anyway.
Based on this very limited info we have, Lady Garnett showing up to a place she might already be
Well,
would be weird. Also,
Yeah.
if it's magically restrained, which
Uh-huh.
we've seen with the friend, you might just be like, I'm Lady Garnett, walk through the door, and then you're immediately Astra.
oh,
Mirlar
that would be
had
awkward.
That would
a
be-
dampening...
So maybe
thing
we
in
can
his
use it in a different area
establishment.
than the Gilded Look.
Ezekiel?
Well, but like,
I'm
if
just
you
throwing it out there.
reacted to touching that shiny tree to becoming a dragon, maybe like you go in there, and then we throw the shard of the thing at you, and then you.
I catch it,
This is a lot of really great.
and then I switch from
And then-
Baronet to a dragon.
These are all
And
great
then
ideas.
you partner
We don't
with
even know where
I
we're
like
going
it.
or what it looks like
Yeah.
or what.
we got a
need some-
plan. It's
we,
foolproof.
we need some info first.
It is possible we can find another individual who's been here a little longer who will definitely want to help us.
They might be in that door.
It's possible.
I really want to go in.
I would prefer to go in first alone.
Sure.
I would prefer
But-
to go in first alone, and I look exactly like Calthier.
Oh dear God.
This is dangerous.
I might as well tell you at this point now. I also am familiar with Volro.
With who?
He's the one at the Dark Regret, or he was there.
That was the last we had heard where he was heading.
I don't remember. Like, this is rough.
When
I
we were
don't
at
remember.
the,
Yeah.
This was
Um,
you weren't your
right.
character wasn't there. This was
Alf looks
Arkmir and
shockingly like
Calthier who were-
Calthier, traveling with
Yeah.
the Deadwood clan, looking for a tavern in Silthia known as the Dark Regret.
Oh.
We heard about him at the caravan
Yeah.
They're like
before we went into the storm.
a
Okay.
guy by the name
Yeah.
of Volro.
They're like, oh, somebody looked
Yeah.
like you who came by here.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Named like oh.
Yeah.
This is a lot of brand new information.
Honestly, I shouldn't have said this, but I need your help.
Have you been keeping in touch with both of them while we've been?
Is
No.
Volro a romantic friend?
Are you related
He's my
to
boo.
Are you related to Volro?
No.
Okay. Oh, again, you don't need to share everything with us, but
It's
we are here to help.
I don't know what is beyond this door, but I feel like I should check what is in there.
Sorry, I have got thirsty and my trunk was already full.
If you don't mind waiting a moment,
We can come with if that's.
Nobody will
I
enter
would-
this building behind you, and I'll just stand in front of the door before you go in.
just
We can just put a sock on the door.
I'm just going to take a look and see what's inside, if that's all right.
There's no door. It's just an archway.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll scream or something if you need help.
We'll walk up there. Are there windows?
No, it's just a
It's just
like
a
an archway
moonlight
that
tunnel.
leads down
Yeah.
a tunnel, and inside there's like a chamber.
Okay.
I start to step towards it, but then I'll turn back to the group and just say,
Godspeed.
goodbye, and I run. No, I didn't withhold this information to deceive you all. Know that I was only doing it to protect others. And then I go and I walk in.
As soon as he walks in,
I'll,
he's friends.
I'll use that line next time.
You make
That's
your
a good
way,
one.
Honestly, this is the start of a really cool heist mission, so
You make your way through this archway and find yourself in a small chamber with dark black walls. And the chamber seems to go up, like open up in front of you. Or not open up, close up. It narrows as the tunnel kind of goes up. And at the very top of this, maybe 50, 100 feet up, as far as you can see, it seems like there's almost like a moon roof of sorts. There's just pale moonlight streaming down from it. Where you enter to your left, there's a statue of a female figure, faceless, holding her hands closed, almost like crossed in front of her. And standing beside it is a figure, elvish, not as pale as you, long silver hair, normal eyes, not pitch dark black, wearing like black and gray robes. She smiles and looks up at you. Welcome, son, to the Shrine of the Shade Sister. How may we be of service to you? Are you here to pray?
Yes, I believe so.
Very well. Kneel and pray.
How common is referring to her as the Shade Sister?
It's not common where you're from,
Okay.
but it is. It makes
I
sense
would know
that
it.
it would be.
Or I would,
well-
yeah. Okay.
So Ren said,
Jade's sister. I didn't even clue in that I was talking about her.
It is like the sister is one of the titles of
Yeah.
Linvari. And
Yeah. Of
Jade's sister
Solnavi,
could be
or whatever.
Linvari.
No, Linvari is her.
Yes.
Solnavi is.
Solnavi is the first.
Yeah.
And Linvari is the sister.
Yeah. Yeah. Continue in.
There isn't really anywhere to sit. It's a very small chamber, but you kneel down in front of the statue and you begin to pray.
I also place at the base the
elf
statue.
that's standing there regards you for a moment, tilts her head as you lay the statue down, and then nods and steps back. You feel at peace. For the first time since you entered the city, your mind, you take a deep breath, your mind relaxes for a moment in the presence of your deity in this place that is holy to her. The moonlight from up above you shines down, and you hear a voice in your head. My son, I'm sorry for the pains that you're going to have to bear. Our people are in danger. He knows.
Do I get the sense that actually no, I'm just going to what can I do?
You must stop him. Stop him from doing to our people that which was done long ago. He wishes, knowing not what he brings back, he wishes for the return, for the fall to not have happened. He knows.
How can I stop him?
There are three. The warrior, the witch, and the craftsman. They will bring down the city above and use it to bring back that which should have been lost. I know now that he was my greatest mistake. Something has changed in him farther than I could have ever expected. Something drove him to do unspeakable things. We must stop him.
Sorry, so she was saying these three will bring down the... Okay, just want to make sure I understood that. How will I find these three? How will I know them?
You know the warrior already. It is him. He is here. The witch is sister to your friend.
Oh.
Wait, what?
And the craftsman is the will of the eye of the storm. Those three must be stopped. If the city falls, if they take what is keeping the storm at bay, our people will be lost for good.
I don't know what I can do.
You can do what all of us can only do. You can try.
God damn, that's deep.
Do or do not.
You are asking me to potentially turn against a friend.
For the sake of your people. But I don't think they will see it that way. Trust in them. Most of them.
I will try.
He is a profound evil. He brings darkness to our people, blinded by his hope. Inside of him, there was once a good man, but his obsession, something has turned him, something that is beyond my reach.
Is he a source of my nightmares?
He is the source of that which you seek, the solution to what you seek, the problem, the pain, the loss, the end of our people. He is behind all of it. You must stop it.
I will do what I can.
I will be with you. As you feel this presence leave your mind. You feel both at peace and in turmoil. The elf that was standing, simply standing, like looking at you as you open your eyes. And she nods. And I hope this shrine has been of help to you in this time of need.
Thank you. Pick up the idol. Slowly walk out.
Walk out and your friends are standing there. It's been barely 5 minutes, barely 10 minutes, and you feel like it's been an hour. You feel like you entered there a different person when you step out.
Hey, buddy.
We should get moving.
As you look down the walkway where the waystone is pointing, you all begin to walk over a little bit somber as this gondola is now raised up and a few more people are loading onto it. As you walk down this walkway, that is a good spot to end this session.
Mrs. Calthier.
Wow. I missed a little bit of that, but he said the three
The witches
evil ones,
could be your friend's
It said-
sister.
It said that there was a warrior, a witch, and a craftsman.
A craftsman.
Who's the warrior? Or
She said,
what
I
she
already
said
know
about the
who it
warrior?
is.
I'm guessing it's likely. What's his titty?
Karis.
Karis.
The warrior.
Sorry?
Yeah, the guy that's doing it all. The warrior Karis, likely.
Then there's the witch.
Which all
Who's
they
the
said was a
sister
sister.
of your friend.
I could have a sister. Don't put negative thoughts in your mind.
Okay.
If it is, who the fuck is your sister become?
And then the craftsman.
Holy shit,
is
she
the
could be
will
fucking the big
of
bad
the
evil.
Eye
We
of
don't
the
even know.
Storm.
We've been looking for her. She could be
Sorry.
evil.
The will of the eye
will
of the storm.
of the Eye of the Storm.
Good episode,
Which
Rufe.
makes
God damn.
It's Casmaraz.
Casmorath.
Yeah, it's the big blob.
Yeah.
Welcome to Silthia, guys.
Hell yeah, that was dope.
Thanks y'all for joining us.
Oh, like the
It was a lot of
beholder?
fun. Yeah, see you next time.
Bye.